Hey, whoa, what?
Don't talk about Brian Cox.
My
my
cousin is not a big fan of him.
Oh, fuck your cousin.
He's ridiculously smart, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not a big fan of him because blah, 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 blah." I didn't understand what the hell he said.
Because he's had a #1 pop single, and he's like one of the greatest living.
My cousin
or
started
most
some
famous
smart
living
ass
physicists.
physicsy degree, and
It's jealousy. That's all it fucking
yeah.
is.
It's like
he's
like
hot. He's
nerd
English.
stuff.
He's rich.
Does he work as a
Actually,
physicist?
my
He's a
cousin
rock- he's
is
an actual
hot
rock star.
and English and
No.
rich, so he doesn't need
Is his name
any.
Brian Cox?
He also has youth. I hate him.
Maybe your cousin should start Atheism 3.0. Let's make sure he
Yeah, he is the
updates
next
change log.
generation, actually. Like, he could definitely do that whole, hey, I'm a scientist, but I'm really good looking, and I've got such a lovely accent thing. Because I had to watch Sunshine quite a few times, and the behind-the-scenes director's commentary crap, so I'm familiar with Brian Cox.
All right.
Apparently,
Was he involved in that?
Showcase.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
I didn't even know
Apparently,
that.
they think that Cillian Murphy looks a bit like me, which I don't think so. It's like, yes, you do, Brian Cox. But yeah, he helped
Actually,
help
Do
with
the
the
science.
science. Like, he was kind of like, it's not really feasible, but as far as, silly movie like ideas
Keeping
go,
it as feasible.
yeah,
as it.
keeping it as feasible as you can when it comes to like pretty much jump starting the sun. He
Yeah.
was like,
Brian was the reality check.
yeah.
He was like, scrap that movie, it's stupid.
And he was like, oh, you're not going to?
They're like,
okay,
it's going
well,
ahead, Brian, so help us.
here's
You're
all this
either on
money.
this ship or you're back at the ship.
Just jam it in. I don't care how you get it done.
Now, what do you think about Brian Cox? Because you know physics.
I do know physics. Brian Cox, he's a guy who writes the history of books, right? Or am I completely wrong?
he's the one that did that Wonders of the Solar System and Wonders of the Universe on ABC.
And the hit
It's
song Things Can Only Get Better.
fantastically
Yeah, let's not forget the real issue here.
Come on. Let's not downplay his multiple talents.
Things can only get. He didn't need to actually become.
And James would also tell you that he pumps a hot model.
Does he?
Does he?
I thought
Oh.
his wife was She's just
I
kind
thought she was
average.
a model.
I thought she was just
Oh,
like.
she might be, but she's the same age as him, so she's not.
I thought she was just. Brian Cox's
is that
wife.
People stop being women stop being beautiful once they've passed 25.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, they stop being models.
No, I thought she was a scientist, and they're kind of equal.
What
It's
about
not like she's-
Janice Dickinson? She's like forever a model. She was the first supermodel, and she's still...
Well, if you ask her, yeah.
Yeah.
she's the first to do everything, apparently.
No, she's not bad. I thought she was just like a fellow scientist. So she's not a model, but she's not.
No, I thought
bad
she was a
looking.
model.
Can she not be a model scientist?
No.
I think you can.
That. Well, this is a
Speak up-
picture of
Speak up
them,
on behalf of all
apparently.
model scientists out there. If you want to pursue a double career model scientist, you can do it. There's nothing holding you back.
Her Twitter account, I think she
This
says...
beautiful man is Brian Cox.
It's ridiculous. He's so handsome.
So
It is.
pretty.
Although he's a bit goofier than Cillian Murphy. I don't, if we're going to go for
Yeah,
comparisons.
yeah. But
What
they
did
do
we-
have that pouty.
What did we say he was
that's
analogous to? Because I'm firmly in the Brian Cox camp, Team Cox, Team Big Swingin' Physics Cox, and Pontifex, your team.
Small cock?
No, Tyson DeGrasse, Neil deGrasse
Oh,
Tyson.
and you don't like
okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't mind
'Cause you're
him.
racist.
Are you banning the CCs?
Yes. No crunchy snacks.
Oh bullshit!
It's going to be a lot noisier when I
Don't you
climb over
oppress
the
me.
table for them.
Hello and welcome to Fangin Around. This is episode 39. Recording this on the 18th of February 2013. I'm James, and to my left I've got...
Rhett, nice to be on the show again, James.
No worries. Science represented.
Right here, bam, science.
To Rhett's left.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Julie.
I can't be that. I'm Natalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking in English.
Our ambassador from Armidale.
Part of my life is behind me, James.
I'm sorry.
years as a
I thought
city
you were
girl now.
embracing
Just
it.
don't walk back.
Oh, just if someone's trying to have a little ghetto off, then
All right,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Otherwise, I'm a city girl.
So if you need to have a ghetto off with someone, write us
Don't
in.
even try. 'Cause I
Mailbag
will...
at fangaround.com. And to Natalie's left.
Sponsored by CC's.
Love that
It's
sound.
Campbell.
What's up, Rhett? What are you being... Oh, we got... Would you want to listen now?
Yeah.
Our favourite porn star, Tasha Rain.
No, I heard there was porno chat last week.
Tasha Rain listens to our show.
Porno chat.
This is the
chat.
decision. This is what you decided when you left.
When I left, because because it was brought up that
When you left us.
there was porno chat.
Huh.
That's it.
Anyway,
We've gotta wait-
sorry,
wait
bring
till
up
later.
the listener mate. We can't even talk about.
Oh, well, Tasha Rain, our favourite feminist porn star, said in regards to women fighting on the front line, I think allowed to, yes, but I'm not effing doing it.
and that's her choice.
Yeah.
That would be my
Freedom
choice.
of choice.
So thanks, Tasha, for tweeting us.
See, if they actually get it, all the girls who've been fighting for it will suddenly, half of them will be like, I didn't actually want to do
But
it.
that's like with
I just
most
want my
like
right
real
to it.
Aussie blokes who walk the Kokoda Trail and the armed forces are like the greatest
with all
thing
these, like,
ever.
Papua New Guineans like carrying all their luggage.
Yeah,
behind.
carrying all their luggage. They get airlifted in, and then they have like 10 Sherpas dragging their shit so the football team can feel great about themselves. Build their team.
Why didn't
Because
you join the
because the
armed
Jewish
forces?
people do that in Auschwitz as well. Their football teams often go to Auschwitz and do like summer camps and really build their teamwork up.
Some dark parody. dark parody.
It's,
Oh dear.
he went there. He went there.
But if everyone was as Aussie as they claimed, wouldn't our armed forces just be overflowing with people?
Well, yeah, and you ask people what they did because you're like, oh, you're not in the armed forces? What did you do? And it's like, I got an apprenticeship and then I quit it halfway through to go to the mines. So it's like, well,
The mines have stolen all our soldiers.
Yeah, pretty much.
they've stolen.
Stolen all our young men.
They've stolen everyone. Like,
And if
Right.
it wasn't the mines, it was crystal meth they bought from the mines.
is that what keeps it going?
It's a vicious cycle.
Like truckies.
So you missed out the whole massive feminist corner.
Yeah, it
Julie
would have
and I
been
were
probably too
scratching
much
each
if I
other's
was
eyes out.
on the panel as well.
Ryan wrote in, Tazra. So after learning... Oh, hey, Fang Bangers. So after...
Oh, I like it. I like
after
it.
learning
Yes.
about daggering from you guys a couple of weeks ago, I thought humanity couldn't get any worse, and then I discovered the Harlem Shake. Have you heard of this weird shite? It's as stupid as planking.
I'm Googling it now.
Planking.
I think I saw
The Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm several steps behind the
Yeah.
front line
Oh, it's
of dance
the
here.
latest video thing. It's like the new... what was that thing they did with that guy from South Korea dancing?
Oh,
Gangnam Style.
Five?
Yeah, it's the new Gangnam Style.
Really? The new Gangnam?
The Harlem Shake.
I think I saw some puppies doing it this morning on one of the morning shows.
Was Koshi doing it? I want to see Koshi
It's
do
sort
it.
of... It's
Until Koshi has done it, it's not mainstream.
It's a video that has a fixed view, and it just has like one or two people just dancing to the music, and then it cuts on when the bass drops to like 1,000 or many multiples
Yeah.
of people dancing and wildly dancing as well. You have to go crazy.
It is dancing,
Yeah.
but badly.
Kind of like any techno sort of...
I don't see any dry
Rave.
humping here.
No, this is not to do with daggering. No, this is just a new
I
thing.
know that.
What? It's just shaking.
It's a rave?
Yeah, and
Sounds
people
like a
people
rave.
do it in different ways. Like probably the best one I've seen was like this diving team did it in the bottom of the dive pool. You know,
Diving team.
Just going nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm not buying this as a thing.
Well-
I think anyone could just point to a crowd of people and go, "Oh, they're doing the Harlem Shake." What do you think, Jules? You saw it. Are you calling bullshit on this?
I saw dogs doing it. I don't think that was.
Dogs?
What, Gangnam Style?
They did
No,
one,
they
a
do
big
the
one
Harlem
at
Shake.
Perth on the weekend at the Perth Colour Run, where there was just the mascots from like some radio station dancing. And then they cut to like all the people from the Colour Run throwing powder at each other.
Is Aaliyah going to be doing the Harlem Shake? Oh.
Oh, is this the pool one?
I feel like we missed it. Like we should have done a Harlem Shake
I'm watching the underwater one.
for a
This is
marketing
pretty
campaign
amazing.
for Fang.
Does he have a
Ran.
Stormtrooper
Yeah.
helmet on?
Yeah.
And he's
And
doing it on a table underwater while everyone's sitting.
Gyrating.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
So is the joke sort of it goes from one person to lots of people? Is that the whole
Yeah.
joke?
Yeah, but you don't know what kind of other people they're going to have.
Oh, so it's like a video cut joke, is it?
I mean, once you've seen one, you know what's going to happen.
But
It's just how creative they do it.
Sort of
That's the idea.
I see.
This
Everyone's
just got
trying to
wild in the
push it
right.
maybe.
And obviously, the ultimate is going to be
Harlem
it's
Shake.
going to get some porn stars together with just one couple having sex, and they cut to like 100 couples having sex. It's the only way.
Never been done
That's-
in porn.
The only
Never
way
been
it can
done.
go.
So it's one person dancing on. Does it have to be on a
sometimes they have two
table?
people.
Do they have to be on a table? Is that
No.
the common denominator?
I mean, like the Norway military did it, and they just had like they were in a marching formation, and just one guy in the middle was dancing. Then everyone cuts to the whole
this would be
troop.
Then the whole
Yeah,
thing
but
is
it's
like going
not.
off
Yeah.
in the Norway
Vaguely familiar.
military. Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
into this.
No, I'm not.
No, I disapprove. This is unimaginative. It's stupid.
Is it worse than planking?
I'm not digging it.
Yeah, it involves far too much more effort, and
Yeah.
a group of people thinking this is a great idea.
Although
no,
people won't die from this like they did planking, except
oh, someone's gonna die.
die from embarrassment.
Give it a week. Now.
Tom Green invented
Invented
planking
planking.
like back in the 90s, and some dudes in
really?
Adelaide tried to claim it.
Oh, that's
Oh.
bullshit.
Don't trust Adelaideans.
Yeah.
Not so rattly.
Would you
anymore.
trust Tom Green?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because it's all on video.
With
There's,
my
there's
life.
evidence.
Yeah, it's true.
Who did he steal it from?
Campbell,
Have a liquid.
would you give this a shot if like? What about the skydiving equivalent? One person jumps out, and then all of a sudden there's like 1,000 people diving out of the
Making
sky.
a snowflake.
Oh, that's
No,
people.
no one.
People are planning that. If it's not already
Yeah.
existed, people are planning that already.
Yeah, any little group is going to be going. Oh fuck! How can we do this? This would be so great.
There was a retirement home did it.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, it is cute.
It's people
when
on
old
crutches,
people-
like,
that
going,
sounds so insulting, but it is kind of cute seeing old people like
what about old
gyrating.
people in that Incredibad video clip
I haven't seen.
in what?
without making out?
Oh, I
That
don't.
was kind of nasty.
Did you see that GoDaddy commercial for the Super Bowl?
No, it was offensive. We need to talk about it on Feminist
I'd
Corner.
Oh,
heard
Feminist
that.
Corner. Okay.
I'm gonna
Put
I
look
haven't
that
at
seen
in
it.
the-
Jules, you'd know what I'm talking about when I say it's offensive.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we need
Are you
to
just
ride.
assuming that any GoDaddy ad? Is
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't know.
I was gonna say,
You don't know the one I'm talking about, dude.
Do feminists really like? Is that really their demographic?
Go Daddy.
It's for $4 million per 30
No.
seconds.
She
Really?
just had a micro expression.
So how many
of-
thousands of dollars per second is that? It's quite a few.
Think of how many shots they would have had to have done as well. for that.
Ryan also wanted to know, I looked at your Twitter feed and what's up with all the "you've been hacked" stuff. LOL, been getting strange messages. Yes, we've got a lot of followers on Twitter and we get a lot of people getting hacked and they message you. And I try to do the right thing and messages back and let no. People send you a message, right, on Twitter, a direct message, right, and it's from a spammer. Someone's hacked into the account, right, and then you click the link and it asks you to log in with your Twitter credentials. But it's not a real Twitter page. It's actually sending your Twitter name and password to the spammers again. And they log into your account and send it to everyone. And it just goes around and around in cycles.
It's like spam.
Yeah, it's phishing, it's called. And
BH.
With a P, yeah.
Your fish.
so
with a
that's
PH.
why we're doing that.
I don't see anything on Twitter. I go on.
You should get
once
into
every
it.
6 Oh, I just can't.
I should send some of our 800 followers your way.
I go through spells. I go through heavy use.
You know what
and
you should
You
do
need a break.
to market your Twitter?
What?
Have you heard of Vine? I think you've got
Short
to.
animation.
I think you've got to Vine your pipes.
Excuse me, James.
Vine is like Instagram, but you're making a
short
short
video.
animated thing. So you could have them cut as they
Oh,
get
yeah.
bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they disappear and they get bigger, bigger, bigger. Yeah,
The pipes.
yeah,
Yeah, get a pipe pump and
yeah.
vine going.
yeah.
Oh,
Times it, yeah.
And now it clicks in.
okay, okay.
Yeah, admittedly it took me a while.
I thought you meant clean out your pipes, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, make a time series.
Well,
that for us.
depending on whose definition you take, Julie's or mine, that could get us a lot of hits.
You can make both videos and see
Yeah.
which one gets more.
I don't think that's very feministy. And in case you haven't heard, I'm a big feminist. Not quite menstrual blood tasting, but
It's not quite. I think it
Next
goes
month.
Jules, then me, and then Anne, maybe. Or maybe you're probably after James.
I'm below you on the feminist stage.
I don't
I don't know. Can you
sit
back
yet,
up the
Red.
track?
Yeah, I'm off the charts.
You're off the
It's,
chart in feminist terms.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Up or down.
Who can say? I guess.
God only knows. I wonder
it
what
loops
she's
back around.
thinking now. Oh yeah.
You know, if I had a Twitter account, I would have tweeted that had an explosion today in the physics building.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Split an atom or
Well, yeah, I mean it's pretty hard.
Was it
What
intentional?
happened?
No, well, I don't know, but something in the cryogenics room down the corridor. We were just working. We hear this.
Is Walt
this,
Disney all right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did someone
Well,
explode out of the cryogenic lab?
No, I mean we've that's got to be investigated yet, so it's still under lock
What?
and key. But- Yeah,
Awesome.
Cool.
But no, we're just sitting around and we hear this bass, boo-boo. And me and my mate who were working, we would look at each other and we thought, oh, maybe like because we had someone next door was working on some masonry, so we think, oh, a shelf's just fallen off. We run next door and they're like, what? Yeah, I heard it too. And we're like, oh, holy crap! So we ran out into the corridor and there's this like sort of black, foggy sort of smoke.
And did you
coming
just run
down
the
and-
fuck out of there? Is that scary when it happens at a physics lab?
Well, yeah.
you think, oh shit.
It
Radiation?
could be.
Yeah.
That could literally
probably-
kill people.
It's probably not radiation, but generally explosions of
Well,
the
they're
concussive
not planned.
radiation-
They're not
no,
good.
They're not planned. They're not good. No, we checked to see if the bloke who was normally down that part of the building was okay, and he wasn't there, so that was okay. And then we got out.
He wasn't there?
He was
No,
That's probably the worst
vaporized.
thing, isn't it?
No. See, he'd gone home, so he
okay.
was okay, but at his usual time. But yeah, and like the
left.
doorway was ripped off, and windows were
Whoa!
shattered, and we had to. Yeah, it was like a full-on
expensive
explosion.
door.
Like a
Well,
proper explosion,
There's
not just a
proper
shelf
proper.
falling off the
No,
wall.
no, it was proper, and so we had to bail on the building, and
Day off work.
Did things fall off your shelf?
Nothing fell off our shelf.
Have you been
Well, we-
quarantined? Should you be should you
I-
be
should we
here?
In the same
I'm not gonna
room
tell-
as you.
Sounds like the beginning of a zombie movie.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I've just been in the lab. There was a big explosion.
Well,
There's smoke
if I
going
know
You're
you're
gonna
everywhere.
do
gonna
It's
harm.
fun.
Oh, it's nothing. Just
Regos,
Right.
who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Those are the options,
Show me
right?
your wrist.
If movies have taught me anything, it's that we're all going to get amazing powers now, except one of us will get the dud power, like Marty in the Planeteers.
Hey,
Like
Art
the
is
dud-
the most
Whoa, whoa,
powerful.
whoa.
It
hang
was
on.
lame.
He used it lamely, but if you could manipulate people's emotions, you could get them to do
Yeah, but
anything.
they gave it to the wimp, and they'll always give it to the wimp.
I know, that's what sucked, because he could have controlled all the other Planeteers.
I would have played with
And
Linker
Gaia.
and Wheeler.
Puppeteer. Being a puppeteer.
Yeah,
Rather.
Planeteer
Like, you
puppeteer.
could have done a whole story arc based on that, couldn't you?
I know, the
Marty.
writers
Don't
really
we?
dropped the ball
Guide
there.
to fall in love with your cock. Yeah.
Stalker James is out.
I mean, the worst power would be cancer.
Yeah, that's kind of one we try and avoid.
Isn't that kind of what, your area does anyway?
No, we don't do radiation related stuff. Thank
All right.
goodness.
We're going to have to replace you with someone with the power of cancer.
Radioactive.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, well, I did work at ANSTO for a year. That's the Australian Nuclear Science and Technology Organisation. So,
Wow.
All right, you're with us for now.
Yeah.
Bring us
Have I
some
had my
Diet
plates
Coke
back
next
again?
week and be like, you'll be fine, guys. You'll be fine.
Yeah, don't fear me.
Have a cigarette. The power of later down the track cancer.
Oh, yeah, you can share it.
Long term.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Did it make the news? You haven't looked.
I haven't looked yet.
Are you even allowed to be talking about this?
Yeah.
Is this disclosed?
Well, I mean, it's pretty hard to hide an explosion.
I'm guessing with a lot of like social network savvy guys who would work there as well,
It'd be
people
out
would have
like
started
that.
putting statuses up going,
Yeah.
explosion
No,
at my work.
I did actually check on Facebook. Someone has already status updated. So,
That's
as
a
far as I'm
precedent.
concerned, that's the precedent.
That's a precedent.
And
They're
I
going to
So-
be thrown in a van and taken away. You'll never hear from that person again.
So I'm going to call that okay. But yeah, so that was probably the most interesting thing that happened to me today, past week.
That's
Don't
pretty
think I
good.
can beat that.
Yeah.
I paid a gardener. That's my
gardener.
competition.
Oh, yeah?
Is that a euphemism?
No, I literally had a gardener come to my house.
Is that a euphemism?
There's no pool, no pool involved
For the
here.
gardener to work on.
For
He
your
just
secret
trimmed
garden.
my hedges. Damn it, I'm not helping myself. He cleaned my pipes. Damn, no.
It's not working.
Cleared my gutters. Raked my veggie patch.
Fertilized your soil.
No.
I think we need to end on the high note of that one. I'm not going to compete.
Ejaculated in your vagina. I mean, where are we going with this?
There we go.
And James
And
with the epilogue.
James,
Roaring.
not even going to... Okay, you win, James. You win.
That's the extent of listener mail.
if you'd like to listen, no, if you're listening and want to give us mail,
Yes.
you can do that.
Or
Yeah. Send it to mailbag@fangingaround.com.
Or if you're listening and you want mail from us, you can do that too.
if you have another gardening euphemism, we'd
Send
love to
those
hear
through.
it.
Yes.
You've got some competition,
If you've
though.
got our listener mail page, there's also a little anonymous form. So if you want to be like
Oh, anon.
a little internet C word, you can send us hate mail.
You're letting people
An
just
internet
troll
C-word.
us.
Trolling.
The anon gives it's a lot of power.
Yeah, we
power
like
We
trolls.
need more trolls.
Yeah, bring it.
What
Remember
if,
that
what if
great...
there's a mole within us who'll do the anonymous
Oh, the
thing?
trolling.
Yeah.
We need
Create-
a passport to come back and...
Yeah.
We had an internet message board in high school that had an anonymous, not a troll, but a provocateur.
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 Provocateur. How French. Yes.
Agent provocateur. That's an underwear company.
Provincial?
Like a high school anonymous message board. That just sounds like it's waiting to go wrong.
Was
Oh,
her name,
yeah,
was
yeah,
her name
it really
Gossip
was.
Girl?
No, her name was Passport.
Her?
And,
Was it a her? or
yeah,
are you
it
just
was
doing a
a her.
90s
Code
god
name.
thing again?
no, it was her. And it was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
It could,
Who?
but
What?
Did
Sorry,
you know
I
who
Our
it was?
Passport trolling that was happening in high school.
Oh, right. Passport.
That was pretty amazing, wasn't it? In its own way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, for the time.
Yeah.
It was like a gossip
I
girl.
did go back there and look through the message board and go, but it's hard. Yeah, it's, out of context. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Out of emotional
Yeah.
context. And all that thing about... that was someone else, wasn't it? With the ketchup? With the tomato sauce fetish?
Yeah, we had
There were
two
two.
message boards. One was just for normal chat, and then
And
one
one
you
was-
could be anonymous
And erotic.
yeah, and write erotic sex stories. But my mum visited, and she read it, and she said, came home from work, was like, "You gotta delete that website." You're all 15-year-olds and kids. You can't be writing about.
Oh
We're
my!
like, we're growing up enough.
Yeah.
We know what the bits are called. We went to the class.
I really wish that I didn't fully delete it, but I wish the company who ran the message board went out of business just got deleted off the internet. But I wish it was still there, so we could save some of the stories.
Oh, they were amazing stories. They were works
yeah.
of high art.
And they're lost to the world.
It was it was sort of like the burning of the Library of Alexandria.
It wasn't sort of like it was exactly like.
Yeah.
I think that's what
No,
happened.
I think
one.
it was
They,
worse.
some
I'm
of the
gonna
librarians
call
found
it.
these dirty scrolls of sex stories and just went, oh, fuck.
It's
The
like,
filth is here.
for hygiene
Burn it all.
purposes, we must burn it.
Who knows what
And all
other
these
filthy
evil little
stories are-
spirits went.
And they're fucking all the way up.
I tried to go look at it on the Internet Archive, but it didn't. There wasn't a copy of Thomas Cop from when the fantasy board was down. I think the Internet Archive came too late in the process.
Couldn't save us.
Yeah.
So
True
yeah.
shame. True shame.
So if you want to send us a sex story, go to our listener mail page at
Or
fanginround.com.
some erotic fiction.
Yes.
Or non-fiction.
Follow up. We're wondering if there's been fish in space. Fish in space.
Oh,
Yes, fish in space.
Or an eel.
Apparently, Japanese are doing it. They're putting fish in
They're
space.
doing it.
Are they taking
Making
an
it-
eel?
Making it happen.
Because that would be cool.
And I'm not sure if it's happening in the future or it's happened in the past or it's current, like it's up on the ISS now.
I just want to see how it moves.
So, but I'll put the link in the show notes of them. And there's no video, which is I did find a little bit of video, not very cool video. They just had the little minnow fish,
Oh, minnows.
the white bait.
Oh no, you need koi with their little,
Yeah.
What a giant koi.
yeah,
He need his own like spacesuit.
yeah, but with their little whiskers.
I think they should have designed the ISS to be like Sequest and little tubes so the dolphins can swim around.
Oh, that'd be
A
amazing.
fish
Yeah.
translation
Oh my
device?
god, that would be.
Yeah.
Why don't they have dolphins in space? That's the next thing they should do.
They should have one instead of a computer. Hook the dolphin up with cords and
Yeah.
let its brain run the ISS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Aren't they going to
And,
decommission it soon?
What, really? The internet?
No.
Surely not.
Oh, it
No,
just
'cause they
depends on when they run out of money.
But they've just commissioned another company to build that inflatable room
Yeah.
that they're going to attach to it, so
Oh,
I can't see them.
The-
doing
Basically-
Is that the IKEA ball pit that they're sending?
Basically, as soon as the government comes along and doesn't give money, they're just going to dump it into the ocean. That's what's going to happen.
Really?
speaking of like an adult-sized ball pit inflatable thing, do you remember one of our friends' birthday parties? I think it was her 21st, maybe. And she'd organised it, and she'd asked. She wanted you had to dress up as your favourite childhood character, and it was like a childhood themed party, I guess. And there were all sorts of foods and stuff. And she'd organised a bouncy castle.
Oh, right, yeah.
And, she'd rung the company and said, we need a bouncy castle for adults, like an adult bouncy castle. And it arrived and they inflated it. And in the middle of the bouncy castle is this great big enormous cock. And it was like an adult bouncy castle. And she was horrified. She was like,
Oh my god!
"What?"
Did she try to dress it up as something?
No,
that
they
wasn't?
kind of managed to deflate the cock and
That's disappointing.
I know.
That could have been a feature.
I know, but I think people kept popping it back up.
I've actually seen some really gross Facebook photos of hens nights with,
Cock everything.
how do I put this, unattractive women on the inflatable cocks. Like, the bucking cocks? Like the bucking bull, but it's a cock. There's pictures of these, they exist. And there's these really not attractive girls. Like, they were in their prime in high school, but that was 10 years ago. And 3 kids and a lot of Centrelink payments ago. And they're, bucking around on this penis, and it's so
Everyone,
unattractive.
Nat, should be allowed to enjoy a good bucking penis, no matter what their age.
I will bring some of those photos in, and then they get things like they get syringes of cocktails, but they're usually creamy cocktails, so they start squirting them on each other's faces, and it's just some of the most disturbing
amazing that
photos.
this,
Nice.
Can it be a fetish if it's of a cock? I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, that whole there's hens nights can be they're kind of multifaceted. There's all
if
sorts
guys
of
did them with
ways.
vaginas,
Yeah, guys don't do it with
yeah,
vaginas.
no, but if they did,
Yeah.
they'd be told that they're filthy.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But some hens nights, they just go cock wild, like cock cakes, cock pasta, cock.
Yeah.
Well, let's all draw cocks on our faces, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
What do you think,
It's like this big celebration.
Jules?
You like?
You're looking perplexed.
We should.
Okay, carry on. Someone else
No.
having.
Just like,
Is saturation reached at some stage? I mean, surely you
I
just
can.
had 5 cock-based products, and
I think it's enough with the straws, because I think it's funny to take the straws and then get any guy who's at the party to unzip their pants a little and stick it in there so it looks like they have a teeny tiny little penis sticking out. So my favourite penis novelty item is the penis straw, and after that I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
So if you have a hens night, make sure there's penis straws. If anyone out there
Oh,
is organising
God.
Nat's hen
Yeah. But I don't want to be seen drinking from one. I hope there aren't any pictures of me drinking from one, but yeah, I just...
Campbell's going to the computer.
It would probably be a MySpace
I don't know if I've
thing.
told this story on Fangin around before, but when it's quite a traumatic time in my life. Well, moment, I should say moment.
I'm actually really drawn into this already.
When I was 10 or 11, I flew to Sydney to see Phantom of the Opera. And
How old are you again?
Yes.
10 or 11.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, I went with my grandma and
No, that's badass.
2 of my grandmas, and
Yeah.
I think my mum as well. It was like a woman's party with me plus me, the kid. And before the show, because
How
I'm only
much did
there.
this road trip shape the rest of your life?
Well, it was just like a 2-day thing. You went, or 1-day night. You went.
But what
you
was
flew
the
over.
impact?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, before the show,
ramifications.
we were at Things Gifts,
Yeah.
and right at that period of time, this is probably 1995. The big thing
Was it
for
those
kids,
fingers that you'd stick in the car door to look like someone's got their fingers?
No, it was all sorts of things that you would throw at a window, a glass window, and it would
Yes.
crawl down, and there were these sticky things. And so there was a big segment there at Things Gifts with those things, and I was playing with them like, Mum, can I have one? And then I found this giant big one, and
Oh, no.
it was like this big, massive pipe thing, and it had a big suction pad. And I was like, man, this would be amazing. Thing, this would be an amazing thing to throw at a wall. So I'm just sitting there going, oh yeah, this sticks to the wall good. And then, I was quite small then, and this thing was giant. Then I sort of pulled it back so it was far enough from my headspace to take in the whole structure, and it was a giant cock. and it was one of those sticky things, but it was also a dildo. So it's like a giant dildo, but it's sticky, like you can stick it on the
But
wall.
and are you going to tell the story of like 10 years later? So you're 11, and then
Yeah.
10 years later, what did you receive as a gift?
Well, yeah, my 21st,
Who bought this?
I was given a giant dildo.
By who?
I didn't even know what I was doing when I gave that to you.
Yeah.
But I was
So
fulfilling
you'd
this
not heard
childhood
that
things
story.
gift.
But
gift
your
of desire.
Campbell
Was it
flew
one?
back from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Did you buy it in Melbourne?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had it in my luggage. Because I came straight
Yeah.
from the airport to your party.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I had no time to stop off at a sex
Yeah,
shop.
so
I
Campbell
had to
turned
get
up.
it.
I hadn't seen him in half a year. I didn't think he was coming to my 21st.
No,
He's like,
I broke your
here I
heart.
am, and I've got a giant cock.
And here's my dildo.
Yeah. And at the end of the night, they stuck it on the wall. They stuck it on the wall, and of course, we passed out, and my parents were cleaning up, and my dad had to pull it off the wall, and you can still see the mark because it pulled all the paint off.
Campbell, you've done some actual damage in his life and his parents' house. Wait, so is this one that
not even
actually
half of
suckers to the wall? Like
Yeah,
one of those.
I asked the sex shop guy why it had a suction cup on the end.
No, I've heard of Tupperware style
Oh,
parties.
I've seen
and sex stuff
girls
where they
using
sell
it.
them.
You stick it on the ground, and the girl can just bounce on top of it.
Yeah,
But
or,
I've-
and he said, or you could stick
But
it
what
on
were
the
they
wall.
doing selling those in
okay.
things in the 90s? Because I went
Things
to
was
things.
wild back then.
I went to things all the time in
Yeah.
Armadale, and the most phallic thing they had was scented candles. Like, and I would know because all the girls at my school, if they'd seen any penisy stuff, any peni,
Word
would-
got out.
Yeah, they would all be like, "Oh, we got to go to things after school and look at this penis sticky thing that you throw."
I
at a
wonder,
wall."
because this one was obviously really sticky. Like, would girls even want to use it as a dildo? Or guys, I guess.
It sounds like it needs hot water and
Yeah.
soap wash.
Yeah.
Because your one wasn't supposed to be sticky.
It just
It just
got
got sticky.
It became sticky.
It was really like
don't know what happened to
tacky. That's the word for it. It was
Yeah.
tacky.
Yeah.
And it would just collect dust and hair, and
Oh,
it was on the back of the sofa for ages. It was gross.
It was a very. It made for a few funny events when you have a girl over and you just sort of. Because it was just behind the couch all the time. Just slowly pull up and go.
just ready to.
ready.
Yeah.
Just
Ready.
I had a
for all
friend,
occasions.
his parents did an open house on their. They were trying to sell the house, obviously. They were like, "Oh, get your room clean. We've got someone over for a viewing soon." And I'd always been in their room, and like, you know how you see things and you never quite take it in.
Yeah.
Well, this old couple in their like late 60s came in and were looking at the house, and they're like, "Oh, it's really nice." And then they just suddenly stopped and looked at the back of his door and said, "Why are there anal beads hanging off the back of your door?" And I had never noticed that they were anal beads. But
Were they anal beads or
they
just
were. No, because I was like, he told me the story, and I was like, "Are they actually anal beads?" And he was like, "Yeah, they were bought for me as a joke." I'd seen them so many times when I'd gone to his house, and it had never. I'd just been like, you know, you just stare at things. It's just a colourful blue thing, and I used to be like, it's a broken necklace or something?" And
Really chunky necklace.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's got to be one of those and sticky to the wall dildos have got to be those presents that the sex industry thrive on, but people don't actually use mainly. They've got to be those items that people buy as a joke. There can't be that many
This
people.
dildo was quite large.
Novelty size.
I'd say it was. You know, I'm no judge
Possibly
of
stitches requiring
vaginal
large.
vaginal size.
I mean, I think it was taken from the mold of a black
Was
guy.
it?
I'm assuming. I don't think white guys have big cocks that big.
it was a white
Oh,
dildo. though. Here's the even funnier story
get
though.
the
I mean,
picture
I've
of
seen
the guy
white
with the
guys
biggest
with
penis.
big girth.
No,
Sorry,
no.
but when we bought that dildo as well, it was myself, Piers, and Fred. We were all over there. We went to the sex shop. There were two dildos we were tossing up between. Right? Actually, there were three. There was one called the Great American Challenge, which is someone's forearm
Oh, right.
cast and the hand is like arrow shaped, and that's the Great American
Have
Challenge.
you seen the sounds a woman's hole makes when you fit an entire arm in it? Like, it's...
My life isn't complete
exotic.
because I
Oh.
haven't. This is a picture of what's his name? James Falcon, I think. Man with the world's largest penis.
Wow, that is quite incredible.
And he's wider than me.
He's pretty
But he's never been able to have proper sex.
What do you mean proper sex?
As in,
You
it's
can't get
too
it-
big. Yeah.
No, well, if a girl can fit an arm in.
He's hanging out
Yeah,
with
but
the wrong
most
women.
girls don't fit arms in.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but I'm
so-
saying there's the
Just
right
sets
girl.
unrealistic expectations for women.
Probably true.
The amount of times I've been asked
Yeah.
if guys can just shove their entire calf muscle in it.
Don't you
Just
believe?
casually.
Don't you believe in
Well,
destiny?
first
Don't you
date.
believe in destiny? There's one person out there for every one of them.
There'll be a serendipitous kind of meeting.
Yeah.
There'll be. Imagine the meet cute between him and his
Yeah.
Oh,
his kind of cavernous girlfriend.
She'd have to be a porn star
well,
or a sex worker.
He won't. He refuses to do porn. I've read, sadly, this story a few times because I get it out when we're drunk and talking about funny stuff with my friends.
Sure.
Jonah Falcon, 13.5 inches. It is the world's biggest penis that they've actually recorded, and he's like, people stop in the street and like will offer him roles in pornos, but he refuses to do pornos because he's waiting for the one, and he's a romantic. But it actually has stopped him being able to
Sickening.
have a proper relationship.
Oh, yeah, well, in the meantime, might as well do porn. What is,
Yeah,
That's why I don't have much sex because I'm just too big. Yeah.
Well,
is this?
Julie's.
Tape measure.
Yeah, but I think it must.
that's
It must
okay,
be
that's
common.
soft.
It must be going by mass or something.
an arm. It's about the size of an arm.
How much would it increase if it was erect?
Well, is he a grown?
Julie just doubled the length of the measurement tape.
That was brilliant.
But is that the measurement or is that limp? It's 13.5 meters.
It would have to be. It's limp, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Oh no, his
But-
penis can grow up to 13.5 inches when erect.
What?
Oh, so maybe
Am I right?
Something that has often taken his friends by surprise.
That's not.
I went to a mostly Jewish
friends
school,
possible.
and I was the only one who was uncircumcised. So I always thought that my classmates were fascinated by that.
Oh.
Now, when you guys, girls, sexting.
Hold on a tick, I was pretty promiscuous.
Yeah, he's talking
So I thought he was like waiting for the one.
Well, this is not.
Oh,
No,
the
he's
story
waiting
that I've
for the
read
one
before.
to do porn with. That's because
Yeah.
he won't do porn because he's waiting for the one.
Oh.
He's like, I will create the masterpiece.
Yeah.
Everything has to be just right.
You should ask Taylor Swift.
Boo, Taylor Swift.
When you guys, girls are sexting,
When
All the
we're
time.
sexting.
do you guys ever use toothpaste to simulate,
What?
you know,
Please say it.
You're actually going to have to tell me because
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Could be any number of things.
to like simulate an or maybe mayonnaise or something to simulate a
Semen.
Oh.
in the photos?
No.
Because that's what
No.
I went on one of those, girlfriend revenge sites where they send in photos of the girls.
Those sites are. They should show those sites in high school to show girls
Yeah.
why you shouldn't sext.
Yeah.
And what is it? Who's up?
well,
Is anyone up or
shouldn't
whatever?
they
it's
have
called.
all learnt from that girl from Disney who was in the Disney?
Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
Or Miley
She's not-
Cyrus?
Well, she's too
or
old now.
All of
The kids of
them.
this generation don't know who she is. But yeah, I there's all these photos of these girls like trying to take, I guess, first person view photos for the guy with toothpaste on them. I'm just like, I don't know what the toothpaste is for. Is it?
brushing your
maybe
teeth.
the guy just was really into toothpaste.
I'm totally gonna sext everyone in this group a picture of me brushing my teeth now. They're like, yeah, fighting that plaque and tartar.
You should Vine it. I'll give you the
Maybe
details.
you
for
can
it.
make one of you can make a whole calendar based around like
Dental hygiene.
toothpaste. Yeah, dental hygiene.
Floss.
Kinda-
Imagine things you could do with that.
Yeah.
Floss.
Actually, yeah, I saw something like that in Amsterdam. The floss had little flags attached, and they just kept coming.
So
Ugh.
patriotic.
The world is in crisis. Wrestling has been dropped from the Olympics.
Really?
Oh, like
Wait,
Greco-Roman
wait,
wrestling?
Rustling.
I think the whole lot is going in 2020.
What are they replacing with?
serious?
Not BMXing.
I think BMXing.
Ah!
Can you actually
roller
take
skating?
things out? Roller skating.
No,
It's just
roller
wrong.
skating.
They're bringing back roller skating.
Wait, is it that one where it's like roller skate combat?
Rollerball.
Oh, roller derby.
Roller derby would be awesome, but it's probably not roller derby, is it? It's probably just...
Oh, it could be roller derby because that's big. That's good for feminists, isn't it?
They
It's like a
should do
feminine.
gladiators. That was awesome.
Gladiators. Storm.
Yeah, and Flame, who was like the scariest of them all.
Vulcan. He was the one.
Vulcan
wasn't
was
he?
so good.
And there's the one that turned out to be a pedophile.
What? It wasn't Condor, was it?
I think it was.
He had the best victory dance.
What did he do?
He had
Wasn't it a guy like that? Or was that the Tower? I remember Tower.
Oh, maybe that
Tower.
was.
Oh, he was the tall one, wasn't
I
he?
swear Condor was
Tower?
the one who
Yeah.
would play
Tower
Queen.
was.
Another one bites the dust. And he'd do this. I was young, so I didn't take any
So you thought it
sexual
was awesome.
from it. But he did this like little hip thrust to the beat, like dun dun dun. Another one bites the dust. It was so good. Like we were like, yeah, Condor. You
Around that
won.
same time, do you guys remember the TV show Man Oh Man?
Oh my god, I loved that. Man,
just
oh
wondering.
man.
One of my best friends, he was so into it.
I loved that
Even
show.
back then, I thought it was a bit weird.
I need to see if I can find that song.
Yeah, so getting rid of
Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman.
That doesn't seem right. That's one of the foundations.
It
That's
is.
one of
But
the
there's
pillars.
The original Greek.
Is it Greco? Because there's the two types of wrestling in the Olympics, isn't it? There's the Greco-Roman and
Please say pro wrestling. It's
Oh,
not.
I love
The
professional
Rock.
wrestling.
The
I actually
Undertaker.
thought you were saying that professional wrestling had been like cancelled
Yeah.
everywhere,
It's unfortunate,
and I was very
but I
upset
have to
at
announce
first.
that WWF will no longer be participating.
Well, it's
in the Olympics.
WWE because the World Wildlife Fund won that
What?
lawsuit
Good.
years ago.
They merged with WCW, right?
Yeah, they did.
No,
You
because
see, it'd be
all of my
ridiculous.
donation money was accidentally going to wrestling instead of saving pandas.
But yeah, no. Oh,
Oh, what?
that's. I just didn't know that
I've
they
got a
took
glass.
Olympic. Like
Yeah.
Thank you.
that's heartbreaking
How
for
very
anyone who's been
anti-feminist of
studying.
you.
I know. I know.
Reverse
Wrestling.
feminist.
it's going in your face.
How very feminist.
I'm getting man
Thanks.
up quickly.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, so, I mean, what incentive is there to do Greco-Roman wrestling
Now,
now?
Now that the glamour has gone.
the
But
highlight.
I think the controversy is like one of the original events.
they should
And
do.
some of the purest events they used to do in the ancient Olympics.
Someone
Have you
should
seen
do
them
a
do it?
counter Olympics.
Covered in oil.
Someone should
Amazing.
do a purists Olympics, naked oil, just the pillars, the fundamentals.
And do you know what
That's
wouldn't
it.
be part of it?
Women?
Oh.
But that's
True.
bullshit because
But
I'd let
also,
women wrestle naked with
Rhythmic
oil.
gymnastics would not be part of it.
That's right.
That's
right.
fine. I say that's fine.
You're
All
okay
those
with
rhythmic
gymnastics?
gymnasts who've been dedicating their lives
to
the rhythm.
ribbons and balls.
This would be like the Rebels Olympics. This would just be
Yeah, right.
you just go, you do it.
Watch
There's
that
only, these are the
wrist
rules.
There's a dirt arena.
Yeah, simple. Strip it back.
me a gold
Javelin.
medal.
Middle of
What is
summer.
it? Javelin, hammer throw, run,
Make it
Sprint,
worth your
yeah.
while.
wrestle a guy,
Yeah, that's
swim.
you swim
No, they didn't have swimming
no.
pools.
That's
No,
pretty much
it's
it, I
bullshit.
think, with the
Well, it might
football.
swim across the
Like a
river or something.
10-year-old.
And I think there was poetry.
Poetry,
Oh,
yeah.
really? Really?
I think check it out. I think
Poetry's
poetry.
in the
Hello.
mid 19th century they had poetry, I think.
I think it was ancient as well, though.
Or mid 20th century.
I think they put it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, because modern Olympics didn't start till 1890 something.
I think there needs to be some rebel alliance formed, which Richard Branson, someone should do
Yeah.
this. Get the fuck onto it, and call out the suckers with their bullshit.
Yeah.
And handle it a bit better than movie 43.
Oh, so you get to see that.
I still haven't seen it. No one will see it with me.
43? What's movie 43?
Oh, last week we were talking. It's that movie that it's like the most like
Yeah.
controversial comedy ever, and it's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much it's Kate Winslet and all these other stars, and it's Virgin's first ever movie, and
Virgin.
yeah, like Richard Branson, yeah.
Yeah, getting ready.
Well, have you
You're
talked
there.
about what you consume? What have you been consuming, Rhett?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I've been again watching Kung Fu and checking out a bit of Perth culture.
Rhett's Kung Fu Corner.
Well, yeah. I mean, I may as well do the Kung Fu movie because you know that's I feel that's worthy of more exposure. This week it was what was it? It was the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. On,
Famous for.
well, not really anything actually.
Oh.
So it wasn't.
They influenced the Wu-Tang Clan. Their Wu-Tang Clan's
yeah, I did read
breakthrough
that.
album was called the 36th
36th Chamber, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it was pretty much, you know, your standard old style kung fu, person gets pissed off with the local regime, goes to a Shaolin temple for 5 years, trains up to be an awesome kung fu master, and then come back and just wipes the floor with everyone.
They didn't enter politics and win an election.
No,
or
not
anything.
really. I think that's. I mean, it's quite a fair way of arbitrating things. The thing was, in this movie, I felt the initial motivation for going and learning kung fu. I mean, it was a bit weak, It was sort of like there's these Manchurians, and okay, they're torturing a few people, but they don't seem to rule that badly. And the guy's dad gets killed by him, but then like the next scene, he's like they're happily like walking along towards the Shaolin temple, and I'm just not buying it. But the heart
motivation.
of the motivation.
Terrible character development.
For a kung fu movie.
The arc, was just not there. But I got to say, the soul of the movie was him progressing through the 35 Shaolin kung fu chambers,
Oh, cool.
learning the secrets of each one until he became the kung fu master.
So you actually have to watch all 36 chambers.
Yeah, pretty.
Or is there a montage?
Yeah, there is. There's.
Okay.
In fact, I'd say a good third of the movie at least is a big montage of him mastering the chambers.
Cool.
Which is quite epic.
Is it
have
set
cool
to Eye of
music?
the Tiger?
It's
Or
got some pretty awesome
30 minutes of
Right. And in fact, I'd say that's the most compelling part of the movie, because at the end he suffers from like I don't know, I've called it like Monte Cristo syndrome, where he's just so badass. There's like
No way
nothing
to go.
anyone can do. He can just
Ah.
wipe over everyone, which is cool. But yeah,
There's nothing risked.
no, the chambers are where it's at really.
Okay.
The 36 chambers. Of Shaolin.
Now, with your martial arts films, is there sort of a subgenre within martial art films that you particularly like? Do you like the historical fiction ones? Do you like the fantasy ones? Do you like contemporary works?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, more prefer contemporary works. Mm-hmm. I like a bit of the modern twist. They're trying to use kung fu in the age of guns, and you can be shot at a distance, but not in kung fu land, of course.
No.
Yeah, and
apparently bullets are really, really easy to dodge.
yeah, and I got to admit, I do like the keep it simple stories as well, out of those genres too.
Have you seen? I think it's called the Flying Guillotine or something.
Flying Guillotine. No.
There's this evil martial arts master. It's
yeah.
a set in the past in
Okay.
kind of feudal. I don't know
Yeah,
where.
China
somewhere.
or
Asia.
somewhere Asia. Yeah,
Somewhere.
that's how it goes.
But there's this old guy and he's blind and he's got this the classic sort of long white hair, the
Oh, yeah.
wispy moustache,
Yeah.
the goatee. He looks marvelous. He's blind, but he's got this device which is like a big broad-rimmed. I haven't been drinking. Broad-rimmed hat.
Oh,
And
like a
it's
Raiden
all-
hat.
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's bladed on the outside.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's got a chain attached to it, and he throws it like a frisbee. But not only is it bladed on the outside, but on the inside it's like a saw.
It's just
So if it
brutal.
goes on your head and then he pulls it off, your head comes off.
decapitation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool film. And he hunts you by sound, so he's
Oh, so that's his deal. He's like blind as well.
yeah. They just
okay.
pile on all the kind of
Yeah.
all the tropes.
That sounds good.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful. I think they wind up like trapping him in a shack and burning him alive. Is how they like get around
the
his...
only way that they can bring him down.
But he's like this
Well,
old man, and I think he's mute as well, so you just kind of feel sorry for him as well, and terrified of him.
Especially when he's being burnt to death
Yeah,
in a shack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, the improv weapon, that's a big part of a lot of kung fu flicks. Like,
Yeah.
I've created this, and it is unstoppable.
Yeah.
As well. That's yeah. It sounds like a good. So, what was it called again?
I think it's called like the Flying Guillotine. I'm just going to look it
Oh,
up.
that's going on the list. That's going
Yeah,
on the list
it's
for
one of
sure.
those like big classic ones. It's the Flying Guillotine. Julie? Did you watch much kung fu martial arts films?
Pretty much whatever was on SBS while growing up. Yeah.
So, a bit of ghost story, maybe.
I don't know if erotic ghost story really counts as a
A Chinese ghost story. Yeah.
sorry, Chinese ghost story as
Yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to the
yeah.
Chinese erotic ghost story. I think that had some martial arts in it too.
That
Involving a lot of boobs.
Oh, okay.
Chinese boobs?
Chinese boobs.
Big Chinese boobs.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my thing for the week.
It's
You said you had some Perth culture.
I did. I very briefly stuck my head into the this display in Kings Park. What was it called?
The light?
Moving light, scattered light.
Scattered light,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, it was by some engineer bloke named Jim Campbell. And you got this like this.
No relation.
No, totally claim it, man. Come on.
Yeah, it was mine.
I don't know, not after my story about it.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
You go first.
all right, okay. I'll just explain what it is. It's like this. Imagine this big array of hanging incandescent lights, and they can all be different sort of levels of brightness. And he's done it so it looks like there's these shadows of people running through this big cube of light globes. You know, it was pretty popular. There was people having a wedding there, and
Yeah.
yeah, and you know, people just having a picnic around this thing.
Is it still up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's up till next month, isn't
Yeah,
it?
3rd of March.
Where's it
I think.
installed, sorry?
It's on Fraser
Fraser
Avenue in Kings Park. I only went briefly, but it was pretty awesome. But I mean, maybe not.
Well, it is
why-
good. It
why
is
not?
good, but my friends and I had a get-together on Valentine's Day, and the Facebook event was called International Day of You're Going to Die Under a Pile of Cats, and it was just us pretending that we're all really bitter because we're single.
Pretending?
Pretending. I'm a method actor. You coupled bastard, you. And
Were you pretending to be single or bitter? Or both?
both. But I said, because a friend of mine had put a picture of the scattered light thing up, and I said, we should just host our event there and just ruin it for all the singles. Turns out we didn't need to ruin it for anyone because I was going to say my gum. Yeah, I was wondering. I was wondering what you were doing
Tell your
with
story. God. Filthy, you're never being invited back.
What are you doing stealing my rubbish?
Do it all the time.
Campbell
at work.
and Natalie are fighting over a little piece of gum. If you wonder, for context to listeners.
Stole a piece of rubbish that I put my gum in. Now he's
Tell your
judging
story.
me. Okay, we went to the Scattered Lights exhibition for our Cat Lady, Cat Man Bitterfest, and we got there, and the lights are supposed to turn on at 7:30, and by 8 o'clock they hadn't turned on. So the bitter single group called up the hotline and said, "Hey, we're just at the lights exhibition and there's nothing on." And we had to call back a second time because half of it was because we were concerned because the lights still hadn't turned on, and half of it was because one of my friends thought it would be funny to call up and go, "Yeah, your lights haven't turned on and I might be proposing to my partner tonight." And his defense was, "I said might." So it's not technically lying.
I might be.
And I felt
He's got the ring, he's asked her out, he's organised the dinner.
well, we felt really bad.
Maybe not.
Because the second time we called up, the same woman picked up and she just sounded so flustered. By the time that we actually saw her trying to like madly set up this exhibition, and I think she wasn't even a trained electrician. I don't think she was actually supposed to be there at all. She probably wasn't even from that area. She was probably just the only person in the office that picked up and was told, "Hey, your
Go fix
biggest like crowd bringer on Valentine's Day is not on."
Has these 50,000 wires just trying to plug them in like, oh, what do I do?
Well, yeah, we
It's
just
like-
saw this poor woman and we were like, that's got to be her because she looks as stressed as that woman sounded. Just like fumbling around the like electrical part, but it eventually came on and then it turned off 2 minutes after my sister arrived at the gathering, and it was early because it was 9:30 when it turned off. I think it's supposed to go till midnight.
Yeah, it is.
So lift your
Lame.
game,
Confirm that.
scattered light
PFL.
exhibition.
Damn.
But there was like a bride. I don't know if she was a bride or a model for a bridal company, but she was just standing in the middle of this
Probably Brian Cox's
exhibition.
wife. Can't tell if she's a model or
Beautiful,
just a
smart
beautiful woman.
bastard. Yeah, there was like a woman in a wedding dress just having her photo taken the whole time, and there was this other couple, and I think they were getting their engagement photos taken, and my
What?
engagement photos.
Now, I saw a couple having exactly that, doing that, right in the middle of the lights and, you know, big
And the
fuss.
security guards wouldn't let anyone else go through to the
Yeah,
lights. But,
yeah.
the couple can go through, and they kept doing that thing where they do that, we're laughing at something that doesn't actually exist because the photographer's trying to capture an intimate moment where they're both giggling at something, and they were there for an hour doing the same
I
poses.
have photos like this.
I think you can actually pay money
Houston's
and like rent a place out for an hour at Kings Park.
I don't think it was that. Because
Like those cheap hotels where you just rent by the hour.
Yeah.
I think it was just if you looked the part, they let you in because my friend had bought a wedding dress.
Are they going to?
And so she put it on. It was obviously a fake one, but you never know with bridal dresses. So I don't think
Sure.
the security guard wanted to question her. And she just went, "Can I have my photo taken?" And she was allowed into the lights.
That's
The rest
great.
of us were not.
Now, I found this this guillotine film. It's called Master of the Flying Guillotine. It's actually a sequel. It's a sequel to the
sequel?
film The One-Armed Boxer. And this film is called The One-Armed Boxer versus the Flying Guillotine, or Master of the Flying Guillotine. The byline for the US version is, armed with the most gruesome weapon ever conceived, he challenged the warriors from beyond time.
I
don't know if there was time travel involved.
No?
I can't remember.
all I know is I just kind of really want to see it now.
It's pretty
Just drop
amazing.
everything. Yeah.
The most gruesome
Do you reckon
weapon ever
Netflix
conceived.
has it, James?
Yes.
What?
The flying
The
guillotine.
Flying guillotine. Yeah.
What else?
Well, you can't get Netflix in Australia. They have a thing called Quick Flicks, which I don't think is as good.
So options are limited, but that's okay.
The Pirate Bay.
Some of
might
the
be a
other
solution.
villains in the film include a Thai boxer, a Kobujutsu user, and a yoga master.
There you go.
Never knew yoga
Well,
masters were
yeah.
that fearsome.
Well, with your yoga training now, you should be
Salute
up
that
to
fucking
level.
son.
They can just.
My yoga training.
Am I not allowed
Is
to
this
talk
a burn?
about it?
You can
hang
talk
on,
about
hang
it.
on, hang on, whoa.
What?
You're getting trained in yoga.
I'm being trained in yoga. In the ancient art of yoga, I'm being trained.
As in,
You say that mockingly. It's an ancient art.
It is ancient. It's been around since at least the
The 60s.
1960s
Yeah, right.
in its current form.
So
Yeah.
people shouldn't mess with you on the streets.
No,
No,
definitely
because
not.
he'll very slowly put his legs
I'll very
behind
slowly
his head.
relax and stretch my limbs.
Just turn into a jelly
Yeah.
pile on the floor.
I'll very slowly.
Are you
just
being
sort of
trained
stretch.
just so that you can do yoga or so you can teach it?
No, I can't teach it. I could try. I could fake it. I reckon I could fake teach. I think
Black
people
market
believe it.
yoga.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Campbell.
Yeah, I'll just print out a certificate. A fake certificate. Yes, I've been doing yoga all last week and so far this morning. Get up, class starts at 6, so I've got to be there.
Jeez, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's pretty full on. But it's good. I really like it. And it gives me more energy. It sounds counterintuitive, but I've got more energy during the day.
No,
Well,
yoga
then you
does
stay
make
for the
you
rest of the
feel
podcast.
The
then.
problem you have to be careful is you get addicted to like stretching, and you never get comfortable. Like
It's a gateway
I went,
Gateway drug.
exercise.
I went out a few times with this girl. She was full into yoga and just wouldn't stop. Just all the time, just doing. I'm
She's just trying to impress
We're
you.
trying to watch a movie and she's hitting me in the head by like flipping out leg.
But I bet she was really good in bed.
Oh, we didn't get that far.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, get off my sofa.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my
Like,
house.
Like,
Have
get out.
some respect
I'm trying
for
to
my
watch Die Hard
area.
2. Fuck.
Instead of what you
pretty much
believed
how-
in.
So I'm learning, it's Ashtanga yoga. It means like 8 limbs yoga. And I don't know, I've never learned any other type of yoga, so I don't know how it compares. But
How
it's,
can you? But you don't have 8 limbs.
No, you have to do it in this is one of the things
imagine
that's
you're like
different.
Carly
No, you
or
have to do it
something
you do it in teams. So you get paired with someone and you're doing stretches.
No one would ever pick
With
me
8
for
limbs.
their team. I'm
Originally,
very
it was sort of a part of the Kama Sutra sort of training thing. So it's all sexually.
Oh, now we know what you do. Actually, yoga is supposed to be the only not sport, but I guess activity that's works out the genitals. Apparently,
There is a
Have you never done pelvic floor exercises?
huge focus on genital work. But they don't call it that.
I won't lie to you.
I'm not going to lie to you, there's a lot of cock
do
play.
you have to do group work with another
Yeah.
guy?
Do you have to do cock
No,
push-ups?
they cock push-ups.
I
You
hope
just
your
do one.
partner gets to go there.
One is all you need.
'Cause that would
Yeah,
be
no,
awkward.
it's and you know, because on the first one they're sort of going, okay, this is Ashtanga yoga, this is what you're going to be doing. So a lot of it's breathing, so we're just going to practice breathing. So you just breathe for like 15 minutes, and you're going. You got to make this sound because all right. So pretend you're whispering
Snore.
and keep that going, but you're doing it through your nose. So that sound right?
Sounds like
Imagine a
a
class
style.
full of like 40 people doing that, or
Wow,
20 people.
It's kind of hypnotic.
Yeah, so you're focused on your breathing, so that's what you listen to. So you got to breathe, and then you learn how to breathe into 4 chambers of your lungs. And I was like, what? I've got 2. Anyway, 4, and then
Half of each.
it's weird. There's the front, there's the bottom, the front, the back, and the upper. I don't know. I can't really get it. So you're doing this focusing, and then there's a couple of other things you got to remember. You do this and never do that. And okay, so you see. And then
Never fart.
and then one of them, she was like, okay, now there's this, I can't remember. She uses all the Indian words for it, but she said there's this sort of channel that goes, this energy chamber,
Is it your chi?
Tunnel that runs like up your spine, and there's 2 plugs. And I was just like, I was so close to interrupting and saying, excuse me, is this a literal or is this like a kind of
That's a
symbolic
chi.
thing?
It's your chi.
It's my chi. But there's a plug at the base of your spine, right?
Oh, yeah?
And you need to be sort of flexing that to pump the energy through. And she's sort of saying, I'm not going to go around and check, because I can't really go around and check if you're doing it. You just sort of got to tense this part up and relax it, and tense and relax, and that's sort of working the energy through. And so every time you breathe in, doing your kind of breathing, you're supposed to be tensing this part of your. And she didn't say pelvic floor. She didn't say it was Uranus. She didn't say it was your genitals or your taint or anything. She's just like, it's an area down there. So I'm like flexing everything I can. I'm like, this isn't right. Until I found what she was talking about. Or at least I
Wait,
think it was.
Well, I was going to say, do you know?
Well, I don't know, because she wouldn't check. I said, can you come here and feel what I'm flexing? And she wouldn't do it.
You hold a butterfly
And I haven't been
tightly in
allowed
your
back
hand.
since.
How did you say it?
Please touch me.
Just touch me. I had my legs spread.
Just be like,
No pants on.
I'm doing my genital bit.
Pouring
Can you
milk
check
all
if
over
I'm doing it right? Check again.
But anyway,
Well,
it's all going well. I like it. And I didn't have classes Saturday, Sunday morning, but I got up early and did my routines. It's like a dance routine that you learn. It's like a whole
It
cycle.
makes you feel nice, yoga. Like you do feel
Yeah, it feels
better
really good.
after you've done it. You drag yourself to it, but once you've finished,
I really like it.
it does feel quite nice.
So, Ashtanga yoga.
It's totally
I'm into
way
it.
to chill out. Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
What have you been consuming, Julie?
Apart from some medication for a possible cold.
Am I all right? to steal
Yes,
this,
please
Susan?
do. I've spent pretty much the last week playing Red Dead Redemption because I'm very behind at the times. I've been
Red Dead.
playing a game that's quite old now. Well, not old, but it's really good.
It's 3 weeks old, so it's old in gamers.
That's my
Probably
favourite
is old
game
now.
I haven't finished.
You haven't finished.
Yeah.
Is it because there's too much to do?
Yeah, I just don't. I have a very short attention span, so it's like I go in and you play for like an hour, and I sort of ride around my horse and catch some animals and skin them, and just get really involved in the thing. And it's like, oh crap, I probably should be doing some missions. Then I'm like, oh no, I better go do something else now. And so I never do the missions.
I do.
But I really like being in the
Yeah.
world. Like I just go in there to relax. Like I feel that's really one of those games where one day people are just going to put their headset on and just go in there, and they're not even going to play. They're just going to walk around in a world,
It is. It
Because
is.
people
a very
you
well
come across
created-
characters and they either shoot you or talk to you, or there's animals and stuff
Yeah.
that fly around you, and it's so surreal. Like
James, sorry, Julie, but there's actually a game which does that. You just walk into this world which is generated, and you just explore it. It's called Proteus.
oh yeah, I have
Yeah,
that.
I've heard of it.
Ah, hey, okay, all right.
But it's what? It's
So
like
it's.
16-bit
I was really disappointed. I
technology.
paid $10 for that, thinking, "Oh, this is the game I've always wanted. This is like,
Yeah.
But it's so simplistic. It doesn't have the detail of The sounds are very nice. You can go around and listen to the sounds. Have you ever got to the end game?
Yeah, I have.
All right, don't tell. I say I haven't
Okay,
got that far.
alright. But yeah, I should. Yeah, this in this game Proteus, like it generates this whole island with a few features, but it makes it kind of a different island every time, and everything is in like this 8-bit Atari sort of graphics mode, and all the sounds are synthesized, so it's like this, and there's critters which make synthesized sounds, and then as you walk around, like this whole soundscape just sort of evolves and changes around you.
It's kind of like a poor man's version of Flower. Have you played Flower?
No, I haven't.
Flower's like that, but you're like the wind, and you're going around and blowing flowers in the fields of grass, and and knock off their petals, and then the petals follow you around, and you're flying around this landscape. And the same thing where the more the petals you get and the different flowers you get have different sounds. So you try. the only real game. I mean, there is sort of like a journey that you go on, but other than that, the main sort of aim is if you hit flowers at certain points, you can sort of make a song.
Yeah,
and
right.
build up a rhythm, and it's just enjoyable. That's
That
no
Proteus
score.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just looking
Yeah.
at it.
It's very cool. But wow, flower scene.
You should get it. You
even
can
more
get all
scene.
these games now. Have you downloaded Limbo or those games? I think.
I've downloaded some games. Oh, I like the look of this.
It's quite expensive for what it is.
What's drawn you back into Red Dead Redemption?
Oh, it's my first. Well, I needed something to procrastinate with, so I went and bought the Game of the Year edition. So it's got the Undead Nightmare as part of it as well, which I'll make my way
Yeah, he's zombies.
towards. Yes, zombies. No, yeah. So, and it's just one of those games that everyone says is great, and I just avoided it for some reason. And it's really good. It's a really well realized world, and comparing it to Assassin's Creed 3, which has a not that similar. I mean, they're both set in the US, maybe at a roughly similar time, but in different areas. But kind of that hunting thing, but it just seems so much better done in that game that we're talking about. Yeah, no, I'm just really enjoying, and I'm not even doing the missions. I'm wandering around killing animals, which I wouldn't normally do.
We've spoken about this game before on the podcast, and I've never played it, but I have read.
It's like Grand Theft Horse.
I really enjoy riding the horses.
I read a great article about it, and it was talking about sort of the ghost stories within Red Dead Redemption, and they were sort of talking about and then it led into this big comment section where people were debating whether some of these things were glitches or whether they were embedded ghost stories sort of thing. So strange things happening where you can see someone from outside a house in the window, but then when you go in, they're not there. And so it was sort of blurring this line between what's intentional and what are we reading into it, and is there space for this notion of like the ghost in the machine, the ghost in the shell sort of thing. And I just loved the article because it just kind of, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's just this interesting springboard. So I don't know if you guys should probably read it. Having played the game, it'll probably be a lot
haven't
more
seen any
interesting.
ghosts yet.
In Half-Life 2, they do that intentionally. But if you're like me, who just played Half-Life 2 without reading anything about it, it just really freaks you out. And by the third time, you think you're going crazy seeing these things, and you Google it and you find a YouTube video. Oh, it's like, YouTube video, every appearance of this man, you know.
Is that the one? And there's like recordings or is that more Portal? Like there's recordings and they're like ghostly.
No, I mean, they always have, like, there's this man appears and you just...
The G-Man.
Yes, the G-Man.
Yeah.
So you've played it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very X-Files.
And you see it off in the distance, and it's just the slight movement of pixels catches your eye, and then you go, oh, that looks like a man. And sometimes you're close enough to make out he's holding a suitcase. But it's the Half-Life 2 world is so kind of lonely that it just really spooked me out. Like,
yeah, it's pretty desolate.
that's one of those movies, like, you know, J.J. Abraham's like, yeah, I'm going to start making Valve games into movies.
What, really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
DICE last week, he and J.J. Abrams and Gabe got up on stage and were like, yeah, we're going to partner up.
So Lens Flare goes forth.
Yeah, but it's one of those films, like, you can't, like, it's such a lonely world. Like, the experience of that world is you're going through it and you're a character who doesn't speak, and people come and speak to you, but for the most part, you're in this lonely world. So it's going to have to be this big budget movie where there's, like, no dialogue.
So it's going to be kind of like Stalker. I mean, not that I've ever seen it. But
Yeah. Well,
No, neither have I.
the Coen brothers tried to make
I
this...
started watching it and I was like...
The Coen brothers tried to make this movie with Brad Pitt, like, many years ago, about this World War II bomber who bailed out over Japan, and he had to just sort of survive, and there was no dialogue in the entire film because he couldn't speak Japanese. But they couldn't get funded by anyone, even with Brad Pitt attached.
Oh, might have been pretty cool.
So I'm just like, how are they going to do Half-Life 2? Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, you just look at WALL-E. Like, the first third of WALL-E when he's on Earth is, like, the best film ever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they start talking, it's
yeah, but see, I bet
train
you
wreck.
Disney
I didn't
or
mind
someone wouldn't have allowed the first half to exist without the
I've
second
released
half.
a WALL-E director's fan cut,
Yeah.
and I just
cut
cut the
it
end there.
I don't think the end was that bad. It just
We're
wasn't as good
talking
as the
about
first.
the little robot.
Yeah, except he's pronouncing it in a weird way.
I really
Oh, WALL-E!
I really liked it.
How are you supposed to say it?
Oh, it's
Wally.
Wally. Come on.
WALL-E.
Wally. No, then you get confused with Where's Wally?
Yeah.
I liked the second half.
Yeah.
Like WWF.
Because it's wall-e, so you meant to pronounce wall, not wall.
I just really liked the second. It was complete. It came out of nowhere. I didn't
No,
realise
the,
it.
The fat people on the ship, that was
I
terrible.
quite liked it. I was like, yeah, that's probably where we're heading. It was just.
Not if you're doing yoga.
Well, you don't actually burn a lot of calories. I found out when I was doing yoga. I was like,
You weren't doing it right.
I'm gonna lose so much weight. Wasn't working.
Do you play
with Jennifer
Borderlands,
Lopez,
George?
No, I haven't
Protein
played
shaking
Borderlands
hands.
yet. Is that I spoke last week about having a problem with first person,
Oh, that's right. Oh,
but
girls
but,
can't play.
Don't let them on the front line of a game. God.
I have played Portal 2 through a number of times, not just because of Stephen Merchant. And I'm getting better with the first person thing. So I will play
What about
Borderlands.
Skyrim? Did you play that?
I did play Skyrim, yeah.
Skyrim.
I did, and
So third-person things,
I
no
didn't
problem,
emerge
but
from my room
The female
for 3
brain,
days, and then I had to return it.
female
to
brain
PS4.
breaks down when it comes to first person.
It does the
Yeah.
simplest things. Giggle and I don't know. I just spent the entire time playing Skyrim, just like wandering around and like smelling flowers.
So you could move your character forward, but if you had to back it up...
I was like
Very
Chevy
hard.
Chase's character in Community in that episode, going, "How do I go?" Yeah, which you haven't seen yet. You haven't seen the video game episode.
Oh, it's
the computer game
good.
episode.
How
do I
I
get
might go
around?
home and watch it right now.
It gets.
No.
I've been consuming new Community this week.
Oh, so you watched the second episode?
Yeah.
I watched the first one.
I
know.
don't know if perhaps I'm watching them with too much expectation because I know of all the drama, and I don't know if maybe...
you didn't know Dan Harmon wasn't around, would
That's the
you
thing.
just be like, oh yeah,
The Halloween one was like a train wreck.
Yeah, but I was, that's the one I was thinking of, but I was watching it with my sister, and we were like, are we judging this harshly because we know that the production is a train wreck at the moment, and that's why... But then sometimes we'd hear lines and we'd be like, that's a really self-conscious line that they're trying to make it sound like Community speak instead of just writing that it's just like, oh, this sounds like something they'd say, so let's get them to say that.
they must be under so much pressure.
It wasn't bad. Well, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like...
But
Oh my
okay,
God,
it's
this is
now
terrible.
being run by the people who make Happy Accidents. Is it
Happy
Happy Accidents?
Endings?
Happy Endings, which is one of the worst shows on TV. Like
a lot of fast
Is it
talk.
bad?
there was
I
this
thought that
when that started. Like no,
Compared
I
to Two and a
mean,
Half Men.
It's gotten better.
yeah, I mean you can find worse shows.
It's gotten better. It was terrible
when
when
that
it
show
started.
came out. They had 3 different shows, which were all like 3 pairs of guys, 3 pairs of girls, and kind of the Friends formula without a laugh track.
I
And-
can't believe that was it. Damon Wayans Jr. chose
Yeah.
that
Coming to
over
Perth.
New Girl.
Yeah.
I know. But
Damon
having,
Wayans is coming to Perth. The Wayans
Damon
brothers.
Wayans, or
having
But
said
there's a
that,
bunch of them,
still
though.
around, God.
the new
Well,
girls
2 of the
are-
Wayans brothers from White Chicks are coming to Perth.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, so
No,
is
I'm
Tracy
pretty sure-
18th
Morgan.
of May.
Isn't the Wayans? I don't even
Another
know if
black
it's one of
man.
the brothers, or isn't this one of the Wayans brothers' sons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
It's Damon Wayans' son.
Yeah. But having
Who-
said that, Happy Endings, because on the Huffington Post, they like the first year that New Girl came out, they were like, "Oh my god, it's amazing, it's amazing," and now they're getting really critical, saying, "Oh, it's getting so predictable. Zoe Deschanel's cuteness can't carry a show, the entire time." And they're actually now starting to try and sell Happy Endings as, "Hey, it's not actually that bad." So they're not singing its praises. So I'm actually seeing like a change in the reviews where it's saying,
Have any of you
New
seen
Girl's
that
getting a bit
crap
old.
show Girls?
You can talk about it when you've seen it.
Yeah, that's why I want to know if anyone's seen it.
I've seen
no,
Girls.
I've
I watched the
not
whole.
seen it.
You
I've never seen it.
I watched the
It's
whole
great.
first season in.
I'm
a
trying
day.
to watch the second season, but it's pretty hard to get into.
Really?
Why?
Is it offensive?
I've heard that there is an episode where everyone got really up in arms, and it wasn't for any of the swearing or the sucking or fucking. It was because they thought that Lena Dunham's character, it was unbelievable that she was sleeping
With a really hot guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like-
Donald Glover is way hot. Is that who she's sleeping with?
No, it's this.
She's sleeping with like 3 guys. Donald Glover's one of them.
Oh, Oh, did she sleep with
He's in this. Yeah.
her?
But he's really
like, well,
old, isn't he?
She's literally gone. Who's hot on
No,
TV?
it's-
I'm going to cast him in the show so I can have sex scenes.
Yeah,
with
it's
him.
just
That's
apparently
about
it's
the
a silver,
that's the
silver
extent.
fox.
That's the substance of this relationship in the show.
It's a silver fox, and like some older guy.
Yeah, I've seen
And
it.
yeah, that's the big thing that everyone got insulted about. They were like, "Oh,
How
as
dare a
if
woman
he
sleep
would
with an
go
old
for
man."
her." And it's like, well, no, they were saying that he's too hot to sleep with someone
Because,
like her.
because it never well, it's true. Those pairings never happen. It's always the
Are
ugly
they
guy
saying-
with a
I think
hot
it's just
girl.
because she has a horrible personality. They don't believe. I don't know if the guy.
She
has
does have a
I
horrible
haven't
personality.
It's a
these
bad hair.
I don't like him.
I've only
Bad
seen photos
tattoos.
of her, but she's got bad
What?
hair.
She has to be attractive for it to be a show worth
she
watching.
has
She
the
does
worst.
a lot of questions.
No, she doesn't have to be
worst
attractive,
hair.
but she should have
Have
good
better hair.
There's
no Campbell.
no excuse, there's no
You've just set the
genetics.
bar so high.
I quite liked her bob in the first season. I've never been a fan of
Hair
like.
is a disgrace.
I've never been a fan of elfin boyish cuts on girls. I know some girls can pull it off, but I didn't mind the
I think
bob,
you need to
though.
be
I
like a
think-
little elfie pixie girl to pull off an elfie pixie.
If one thing we should get from this show is that it's really important what they look like.
Yeah.
No,
Just what women look like in
That's
real
not
life.
what she's fighting.
But you know who's
The
quite
one
cool? The
woman
only
battle.
interesting character is the freaky girl.
The English girl.
No,
No,
the
she's
one.
Is she the Samantha
the
of
girl
girls?
who's
Jewish girl.
started off the show as a virgin.
Oh.
And she's just like
What's
she's
her
just like a little
name?
character actor that's just like. And I'm just like, oh, she's cute.
What is her name?
She's the Charlotte of girls.
Shoshana. Her name is
She's
Shoshana.
Shoshana. She's
No,
even
but she's kind of. I don't know if her personality would be enough to keep spread. Like, she'd be good in like a movie. I don't know if she'd be able
Do you
to
know
spread
she's-
this character out over a TV
She's
show.
someone's daughter. Yeah, Zosie
They're all
Mamet. She's
they're
David
all
Mamet's
famous.
daughter.
The other girl, the shallow one who had the boyfriend in the first season, she's the daughter of
Yeah.
a famous newscaster. And
Yeah, they're
they're
all.
all very well off.
Yeah, they all have
privileged
connections.
So is this like
They all met at uni.
a new Sex in the City?
No, it's like a
Sort of. It
realistic,
is.
gritty one.
Yeah, but
it's
Sex in the City
better,
was
it's
supposed to be
real.
realistic
'Cause
and
the
gritty.
No, but it wasn't. It was
Rookie
it wasn't
mistake,
realistic.
Just Googled girls.
You
Not
watch
a good
these
idea.
shows.
Yeah, how do you look it up? How do you look up the
Girls,
TV show? Girls?
Yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
and getting an impression of this show. I mean, my understanding is these kind of shows they need someone who is I don't know, like a witch or something. Like no, like
Tramp.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
no. Passions.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Like-
Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Just like the wild card character out of nowhere.
No, this is HBO. This is.
Is she
gritty
sitting on the
and real.
toilet eating a cake?
That was
That's something that happens a lot.
she did that for the MTV Music Awards or something like that. She doesn't mind getting naked.
Oh, she's naked 90% of the show.
Hey, and look, it is really refreshing to see someone who doesn't look like a size 6 or an 8 on getting naked.
Let's
and-
just do it 10% of the show, not 90%. That's what the problem is. You don't see guys with a cock out the whole show.
No, funny that. I don't think that's
Oh, but you
happens at
see
all unless
what's
it's a
his
porn.
face? He's like topless most of the time, and it's like,
Oh, they're both
Put it
gross. I don't want to see
away.
him topless either.
Adam.
yeah.
I don't see. Even they've had hot girls. I wouldn't want to watch the whole thing them naked. It's like it's very distracting.
I liked. I haven't seen the second season, but I was really drawn in by the first season. I had to keep watching, but it was Shoshana that kept me a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah, she's like this little weird character. That's the only reason the only part of the show. I mean, the only reason I watch it is just to understand what all these people are talking about on Twitter, basically.
I like. I can't. You had to make it bigger. That Campbell just found in my girls image search a movie called Girls on Trampoline.
It's
Looks
classy.
Interesting.
And with that classy note, I've got to go.
So I got to say, well, like, with girls, okay, so I got that it's a HBO show. There's nudity. Okay, it's like HBO nudity that kind of go together.
Yeah, but it's
hand
just like-
hand in hand. But
It's not like it's sexual. It's just like people. The whole thing
just
said about
lying around.
couples lying in bed talking.
Okay,
you know.
all right.
They're all about awkward sex scenes.
right, just
like-
the post the awkward sex. Is
No,
that
not
the,
even that.
No,
Like,
during.
yeah, one
Before.
of the
Wow.
guys, the awkward guy, and the girl that James doesn't like seeing naked.
Oh, I don't mind seeing it. It's just.
Whatever,
James
James.
doesn't
You've made your bed, now you lie in it.
I never said I had a problem with seeing
He's
it.
got like a thing where he can't really perform unless he's like saying really degrading porno sex stuff to her, and it's just
Right,
really
right,
awkward watching
right,
them
yeah.
both
But it's great because it's so
Trying to-
real.
awkwardly get
Real.
naked and then awkwardly spank each other and
Do what they need to do.
yeah, and just be like, do you want that? Yeah, I want that. I want it so bad. It's just really awkward, but I was drawn in by it.
Yeah, okay.
But a lot of guys have
Alright.
complained about the sexy. Which
That's not how I have sex. When I have sex, the women really enjoy it. And always make the girl come.
I think that Lena Dunham's awesome.
I think she is awesome too.
But do you know what? She purposely dresses herself badly in the show as well. Like she wears
I
ill-fitting
know.
clothes.
oh, like
She's actually better looking in real life than the show.
I just-
Because you
I
need to watch it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
actually really engaging.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
guys
right.
can't stop watching it either, just because it is funny. And
I'm
James,
biased
this is-
because the one thing a girl needs to look after is her hair, and I can't
Oh, you
see
too?
her hair.
so you
Yeah.
didn't like not even the bob. You didn't like.
Oh, I just don't like her hair at all. I think I saw it like in a wardrobe. It was nice because it was sort of didn't have some frumpy fringe or something.
Well, what do you think of the English girl's hair? Because she's got awesome hair.
she does. Yeah.
The English girl, yeah.
She's got
They're all the other
stunning
hair's
hair.
fine. It's just hers.
All the other girls are
It just
quite stunning in their own ways.
I don't know. I know it's. I know females feel pressure to grow long hair, and it's hard to look after it and stuff like
Boys
that.
like you,
but
James.
I know.
Boys
I can't
like
help
you.
it. Why don't you get up on all these people that are guys encouraging girls to get big boobs? I'm just about long hair.
Look, if you look at how much it takes to
Actually, I
upkeep-
quite enjoyed Charlize Theron's short hair phase, so I'm not
That's
totally
Charlize.
opposed to.
Charlize Theron, like, she could get away with anything. She almost pulled off the monster look.
Mm.
That's how hot she is.
What have you been consuming, Nelly?
Other than Community, I'm trying to think. I've had a very lazy week. I was going to say The Scattered Light.
Oh, sorry, I just
and
stole it.
Someone got in my way.
I'm like that kid in school who's always got the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't you rotate my way? So I went first. I'm trying to struggle for things to say now.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Do you have?
No. It's not a consumer. I've got random stuff here. I've got random stuff.
All right. Yes.
Just in case. No. I was thinking, unless you'd like me to.
Oh, we have a cast corner section where people get to get on their soapbox, and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
if you want to introduce something, I mean, it's a pretty rough outline.
Yeah.
The headlines, the news. We talked about the wrestling getting dropped. Did you guys watch the media hitting Russia?
Oh, yeah.
That was
saw
kind of
some-
exciting.
Sorry, I believe that was the first wave of an alien invasion.
Yeah, my Facebook
Everyone's
was
talking
lighting
about
up.
fireballs now.
They missed. What?
They missed it.
Well, exactly.
They got 500 Russians, so...
Oh, no, hang on. Not
Just the
not
glass.
dead.
No,
Not dead.
no. Just, I mean, well, it wasn't a very
The
successful
city
first wave.
it
was it?
is got more nuclear deposits than any other city in the world, and it hit a zinc factory. So it could have hit like a nuclear
Wow.
reactor or a nuclear weapons
Jeez.
God, do you read
storage
the
or-
14 times as well?
Oh, I don't know. I was just, people were just like, well, it's sort of lucky that it just hit a zinc factory and not.
Well,
one of these-
it was. I saw quite a few YouTube clips. 'Cause the first thing was, I was like, "Oh, I've got to go and see as many YouTube clips
I know,
as I
I'm
can."
YouTubing now.
Yeah, and what really got me out of those is you have a lot where you see the meteor just streak by, and then there's a big time delay between the shockwave of just this poof, everything being shattered around where people are. And yeah,
Well, it's kind of like when you go to fireworks,
I guess so.
Sound
especially if
travels
you're
slower
watching
than
from
light.
a distance. There's also been a huge uproar. Have you heard about the Tesla controversy?
What's that?
No.
That's not familiar.
Tesla, the car company, right? They make really cool electric cars that work, and so every news media organisation sponsored by oil is trying to find ways to take it down. So first of all, they were like, it's not not fast enough, and they're like, no, you can out hoon a BMW, the latest BMW M5. So that, oh crap, so we can't attack on that basis. Or the batteries die when you go over water, and then so they put it through like a wet racetrack, and that didn't work. And
Yep. Yep.
And it works perfectly around the city. So now they're trying to tack it on. These people are trying to take it on long road trips, and because it'll do 400 on one charge. It'll do 400 kilometers, which
that's pretty.
I do a lot
incredible.
of driving for my work, and I only do 150 k's a day.
Yeah.
So I don't know who are these people who have a commute that's longer than 400 kilometers a day. So they're taking on these long road trips, and then
Rocking
and so what the company's done is they're putting these fast chargers around so that you can drop off, and while you're having lunch, you can charge.
Escalating, nice. Yeah, okay.
Right. So then they're like, oh, these reviewers were like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. So they took it on, and it got to the point where like Top Gear tested the first Tesla Roadster. Right. This is a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they actually, before they even got the car, they scripted it in the script of Top Gear that the car was going to fail and they're going to have to push it off. Right.
Top Gear
Yeah.
being
Top
unscrupulous.
Gear
Yeah.
scripting. No. Don't believe
So basically, in there, and since then, Tesla has basically got the computer on their cars to just record everything if a journalist is doing it. You know, so
right.
the temperature of the car, how far it's driven, the GPS coordinates.
Yep. Yep.
Every single detail, and so
Did
they
not
got.
have an affair with that car.
So it
meet
won.
me
We've talked about this.
here.
The Tesla S. It won Car of the Year by like every magazine last year. Great car all around. But this guy was like, it's worked perfectly. So this guy, and coincidentally, people looked at all these articles for the New York Times, and they're all about drilling for oil and how it's great for the company. And it's like, how is he reviewing electric cars? Isn't that a bias?
Yeah. It's the slut.
And so he took it on a road trip in negative 10 degrees conditions because it's snowy weather in northern America, so it's really cold up there. And that's where Tesla struggles the most because batteries don't work very efficiently in the cold.
All right.
So when you leave the car like parked, right?
Yeah.
That Tesla has to actually stay on overnight, just keeping the batteries warm so they don't.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can still start the car in the morning.
Frost off. Yeah. Okay.
Which is the same as like some certain diesel cars as well.
Yeah.
But he decided he wasn't going to plug it in overnight. Like, I mean, everyone plugs their phone in overnight with all electric appliances, the charge. And of course, the heaters overnight used up its battery. So in the morning, he had 30 kilometers left on his battery, and he set off on his last leg of the journey that was 60 miles. Right? And to surprise, it failed.
Well, I mean, it's like if I set out on a journey from my home and the fuel tank was near empty.
Yeah.
Like, surely
You would
gotta
go
say,
fill it up.
Yeah, and if I ran out of fuel, then you're a bit of a tool. Like,
Yeah. So, anyway, so obviously the head of the company was just like, this review is solid BS, and they just put on their blog all the data, and it's just been this big storm of stuff accusing things like that, and apparently he rang Tesla that day before he set off and said, oh, should I do anything? Because it lost some power overnight, should I do anything?
yeah.
And they were like, well, yeah, charge it. You just have to charge it.
You just plug it in.
Yeah.
It's electricity.
I mean, most people, you plug in, because if you plug it in overnight, what it actually does is the car, you can set the car, say, oh, I'm going to start driving, my commute is 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And the car will, if you've plugged it in at home, it'll turn on at 8:30 and warm the car up for you, so the car's not negative 10 degrees when you get into it in the morning.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
So it does all these things to be good, but he was going out of his way to try and just get the photo on his New York Times article of the car having to be towed. That's the only reason he did it. Like, clearly the car says it can only do 30 miles.
Yeah,
Why would you even attempt to go 60 miles unless you wanted to get that picture,
Yeah.
But it's just like they're going over backwards to try and prove this car is not that good. I'm just like, every magazine says it's one of the best cars in the world. No one does more than 400 Ks day to day.
Just haven't gotten over that Top Gear.
When you're doing a road trip, you have to plan fuel stops anyway, unless you're going in really dense areas. Like,
It seems to me that
when I go to visit my parents, which are 2 kilometers away, I just don't jump in the car and go. I look at the fuel gauge and go, do I have 200 kilometers worth of fuel in the car before I go? Like,
But it's electricity, James. Yeah.
Magic.
It's magic. It's magic, right? That's my understanding of
I'll
it.
just
as
plug
a
my
physicist.
iPhone into it and it'll magically charge from that. Because iPhones have the best batteries.
I got to say, even from like a journalistic point of view, surely the thing to do at this stage is if you publish, say, a positive complimentary review, aren't you bucking the trend and sort of doing cutting edge
it gets
journalism?
hits because everyone else says it's great, and if you're the troll who says it's bad, you're going to get hits. So he's earning New York Times lots of money, but it's just everyone's trying to step back electric cars when it's clear that they're ready to go mainstream, but everyone's trying to go, oh, I'm just like, and looking at all the comments of people going, it's like, oh, I couldn't trust this car, and I'm just like, okay, how many Ks do you do in a day? And they're like, 20. I'm like, well,
well, I mean, if people have a problem with that as well, I mean, because I heard in China, this is ages ago, they were thinking about doing the fully self-driving cars, so it gets you to where you want to go. So
yeah, I just couldn't trust that. Like, I just...
If there's going to be a problem with battery cars,
what would the insurance be on a self-driving car?
Don't Google have a self-driving...
Google,
Yeah.
I think.
The ones with the cameras?
Yeah.
Or am I...
no. There's a Google Street Cars that take the photos of the streets, and then they actually have the self-driving cars which just drive anywhere you want it to go.
I just don't really trust them. I think I've seen enough movies to know that technology is
the
evil
number of
and
people
ridiculous.
I see every day texting on their phone. I trust a self-driving car over those people any day.
I gotta say, texting, people just don't stop. Like, they know that it's bad and they just don't stop. So I guess,
Do you trust autopilot on a plane?
I've always been a bit iffy about that, but I don't understand it really. I just hear that and I go, that sounds lazy. And I just imagine that's just cocktail hour for the pilot.
Paz is getting drunk.
Yeah, this is my 12-year-old perception of what autopilot
Getting
is.
head jobs from there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just kick back.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think when it comes to battery cars, I mean, I reckon I'd buy one. It wouldn't have much sound associated with it. It'd just be like a smooth ride.
Yeah, so you can have your music louder.
Yeah, exactly. Some people might miss the sort of
Well, in the latest BMWs, right, the cabins are so quiet that they actually have to play artificial engine sounds into the cabin just to satisfy people. Yeah,
yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
It's like
It's actually moving.
It's like, you know, when you used to put those cards on your bike wheels. When
Yeah.
you sort of this motorbike.
but it's funny how the BMW M5 or whatever, the M series or whatever it's called, is like the poster boy of like people. It's like, yeah, I want a cool car that's like boom boom. And, but I'm, an executive.
Like
so
5-year-olds in sandboxes.
it's an executive, so I can't have a Falcon Commodore. So,
Yeah. So it's got to be BMW. That's a good point. Well, I got a piece of science news along a different angle. It's it's not really controversial, but it is interesting. There's this species of sea slug, you know where this goes. Chromadorus reticulata, and it has a disposable penis.
Disposable penis.
Oh my
So
God.
Finally, the words come true. Well,
after sex, yes, it can. In fact, it gets rid of it, discards its penis, and grows a new one, and apparently can do it up to about 3 times every couple of days. I think.
Oh, so that's not even a lifetime. It's got like a
Yeah, it's got a supply.
packet of Tin Tams that never runs out.
so it's not like a bee, like one sting and it's dead.
No.
I think the bee's sting is its penis. So.
But don't you feel
Cat
sorry?
penises,
Don't you
we
feel?
discussed this.
Don't you feel sorry, bees, that they have this
I feel
this
really
needle?
bad for them,
that
but
they have this
also-
one swipe at it, one jab, and that's it.
I read a children's story when I was younger, and it was about a naughty little bee. And it used its
Naughty
stinger
bee,
to sting someone, and the moral of the story is the bee died.
Yeah.
And I look back now and I'm like, what exactly is, what is the moral that I'm supposed to take from this? If I do something wrong, I will die.
Well, defend yourself. Nah,
Well,
and
no,
you'll die.
She
That's-
wasn't defending herself, though. She was
okay,
being
all right.
naughty and frivolously stinging.
Okay.
But even so, it's like, so one screw up and you're dead?
It's a really weird evolutionary.
Yeah.
Kind of-
But then the hornet, maybe that's the
Well, yeah,
evolutionary
because wasps
step
and
up.
hornets, they can keep stinging you.
I hate wasps
They're the
for that
badasses,
reason.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if a bee stings me, I'm like, yeah, fucker, I killed you. But if
But it's so noble. It's like, I'm dying in the...
it's like, yep. Oh look, I flicked your stinger off me, so I didn't even get all the sting.
Yeah, it's still
You
bloody
just
hurt, isn't
you
it?
take a moment to gloat.
Yeah.
Like,
The pain is
yes.
worth it because you're dying slowly. Well, isn't it the reason that bees die is because when their stinger stays on you, aren't they disemboweled?
yes.
Eviscerated.
That is, I feel bad for the bees. But having
Well,
said that, they've stung me, so.
Yeah, they've brought it on themselves, I think.
But that is a horrible way to die, disemboweling. Couldn't just be.
It is totally the whole samurai kind of thing. There. It's
It
just
is.
the ritual
Yeah.
disembowelment.
Yeah, very much.
I remember, has anyone seen, Robson Green has had this show, on ABC.
It's not that fishing one.
What? No. No, it was about him being. It was kind of before all
Amazing.
those kooky detective things where there's like, we're all detectives. Here's the specialist that we bring in, and he's not quite the standard guy.
It's Wire in the Blood.
Wire in the Blood, yeah.
Oh.
First episode, the one that got them. I think it was the pilot that got them the thing. I read the book on it.
Yeah, right.
And they had it was pretty much this crazed guy who liked to take guys and torture them to death. And one of them was a pretty horrible, squeamish situation where he'd take a chair. It was based on an old medieval torture method. There'd be a
Classics.
there's this big
Oldie but a goodie.
pointy cone underneath, like a big pointy cone with barbed wire.
I'm not going to like this.
And then they take a chair, a chair frame, but they take the bottom out. So this
God,
guy...
this is a James Bond style. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's not James
No?
Bond. It's awful. A guy pretty much will wake up in the chair and underneath him he'll feel this pointy thing. And so he has to tense his muscles up because the bottom of the chair is gone, meaning that if he lets himself lower down...
You can have a great time.
Yeah. But pretty much the premise is that eventually your muscles start to give out, so you slowly disembowel yourself as your muscles weaken and you slide down onto this pointy cone. There were just all these horrible ways of torturing people. I remember reading that one and I was like, oh. But
Yeah.
God.
So
I'm a real mood lifter at parties with these stories.
How do we get onto this?
Something about torture?
bees and then just
Disemboweling.
disposable penises.
Disemboweling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
okay.
ruined
Lesbians have that
everything.
covered.
That's okay. Look, we'll have a good discussion about Vlad the Impaler, I think.
I have a funny story.
Sorry.
When I was at a baby shower recently. No. I actually have these stories in the most inappropriate settings. And it's like, what's wrong with me?
I can actually even do one better with the sea slug that has disposable penises. Its penis is covered in spines. As
So
well.
it's spiky like a cat's.
Yeah.
So it kind of like
So the-
makes its mark.
Well, I think the theory is it can remove competing sperm with its spikes.
So it is kind of like a cat one though, because it
yeah.
gets its way in
Gets
there.
its way in there
But it's
and-
also eliminating the competition.
Yeah. And then I just kind of, just break and run.
Oh, those poor female cats and slugs.
Although the slugs are hermaphrodites.
They are. The story gets even better. Whoa.
So wait, they're all capable of being
growing
with child.
penises and disposing them.
So they're all
Spiky
capable
penises.
of spiking each other and running, but they're also capable of being spiked and ran on.
It's a really lovely world.
Yeah, it's
Now
interesting culture. Wow. Can't wait till they become sentient. And,
That's awful. Those poor I was going to say those poor slugs, just those poor female cats. I'm back to just the
Female cats.
cat rights. I'm going to champion their rights.
speak it out.
I'll just throw red paint on every male cat that I see. He's spaded. I don't care.
I've been trying to think of perks for people who flatter us. Flatter the podcast.
yeah.
as
We'll
we
mention-
talked
We
last
will
week.
not be showing our boobs. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but it would not be worth it. I've got some friends with flatter worthy
So back to the
boobs.
drawing board.
Okay.
Yes.
Next thing. Okay.
We can offer
no,
Campbell
what I
up
was
to
saying,
you.
if you flash to the podcast, right, I am making myself personally available as your dating alibi. And you can forward me anyone online, and I will tell anyone you want that we dated briefly in the past.
You're like a reference.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you going to represent
Oh my
yourself
God.
when you say that we dated? Are you going to represent yourself as yourself, or if it's a guy
I'll
asking you
be
to be
whatever
a chick?
you want them to say. Like the flatterer, I think, can have some input on how I am as a referee.
So you could be like some leggy blonde and female.
Well, I'm guessing that.
Or
well,
are you actually going to say,
they'll
hi, my
probably
name
want
is
some.
James?
They want to prove that I exist. They probably want to see my Twitter profile, and then they go, "Oh, that's probably a guy."
So this is really girls that can only benefit and,
Well,
and
gay guys.
men.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
you may need a better business plan.
This is just one of the perks.
What if the girl or guy that they're trying to impress is a fangbanger? Oh yeah, I'm taking that word.
Fangbanger.
I think it's been
Maybe.
taken. It's in those
Fang
books.
Bangers Club.
It's in the True Blood book.
Yeah, but we're claiming
Suki
it as our
Stackhouse
own.
novels.
What's the song? Everywhere you go, Fangin' Bangin' Bangers Club. Da-da-da-da-da.
I'll Google it.
I think it's the Babysitters
That's
Club
a real
We
thing?
should we should take the Babysitters
Fangin'
Club
Bangers
Oh, I love
Club.
it.
Take
theme.
a look at your friends, babysitters
But then we change to Fang Bangers Club.
because you know that your friends will always bang bang.
Yeah. I think it's got a
It's good. That could be, yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Fang
Eh,
bang.
can-
Read
So
speed.
that's our
fang
flatter
bang
update. Go to fangin.com and flatter your favourite
James will be
episode.
your boyfriend.
And James,
Your ex-boyfriend.
do you,
Oh, you're not even offering sexual services.
No.
The claim of former
I'm just a
sexual
referee
do,
for your dating past.
what
What use are you?
Does anybody actually ring up the ex-partners of their...
Oh yeah, because
Can't
people are
squeeze
like,
their heart,
oh,
you know what?
it's like,
Well, she's crazy with you.
yeah, you're trying to impress a girl or
Here's a
I've
list of my
never
pre...
asked
you're like,
for a reference.
it's like, how experienced have you? I've had
How
tons of
experienced?
girlfriends,
so many.
and then and in the
Yeah, you can call one.
I have
sorry,
never asked for a
I've always
reference.
wanted.
I don't want to hear about
I've
previous
always
partners.
wanted like dating
It would be
referees
useful,
or so yeah.
So, dating refereeing, does it happen?
Do you know what? If I now that I think about it, if I had gotten some referees, I could have avoided one or two douchebags.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
but I still wouldn't do it. I just don't think it's something. I don't know.
It's just a nice thing I think to offer people.
Yeah.
I've done it once. A girl and I we swapped, so I did it on behalf of her. She did it on behalf of me.
Okay.
What?
And how did that... How was
Okay.
the... was it a phone call?
No, it was all online on chat and stuff like that.
Did you have a backstory, like a
Yeah,
sort of
that's
solid
fun.
back-
It's fun to
It's
come
fun.
up with a backstory.
And what did you just say?
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
like, did she say that you're awesome in bed and amazing, and you said the same thing for her? Like, I mean, what's the...
I told her not to hype it up too much because then I get disappointed.
Because you didn't want it to sound crazy. And
And did it work? Did it work?
Oh.
Okay, so you used her to do this for you. Did it?
It did work a little bit.
A little bit.
Your life.
It really worked for her. The guy that I helped sort of set her up with, they're I don't know if they're engaged, but they've been going out for like 3 or 4 years.
And
now.
that's your...
You
that-
credit
you did
yourself
that.
for that.
Have you seen the movie Good Luck
Instigated.
Chuck?
Yes.
Where the guy,
You're the fake good luck chucker.
yeah, like I'm like Good Luck Chuck, except you don't have to have sex with me to get good luck.
How would this guy
you
feel
rub your
if he
head?
found out that he dated this chick on fraudulent terms?
Well, hopefully he's not listening to this.
I don't know. There's a lot of fang bangers out
Doesn't
there,
make the
James.
connection to the girl that I.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
Did
Your
Didn't
life
that.
is just like a sitcom. Like it honestly is.
I
It's a
wish it
sitcom.
was more of a sitcom.
But
Like, I
it
want
is.
to. I remember, was it not? I think 2008. I said I wanted my life to be like a sitcom, and I'll just say yes to things. I ended up going to Paris, and it was really weird. And
Yeah, no, you're a sitcom. That's
Yeah.
that's a sitcom thing
but I
to
haven't
do.
really, I haven't done enough of
James.
it. I need
Did
to do
you
more.
chase a chick to the airport like before she could board her flight?
I chased her from
That's a Richard Curtis
Have.
movie, not a sitcom.
I went to Bangkok.
Friends. Saw an episode.
And
of it
went into
recently.
the dingy dark suburbs of Bangkok to rescue a girl. And
Oh my
Whoa,
god.
well, this sounds like kung fu's involed.
Yeah, yeah. How many chambers?
I just told the taxi driver to
were
go
involved?
meet her at this McDonald's. Like, it wasn't-
We're imagining you like rolling down the streets with samurai swords. No.
and it
Did you have
wasn't.
your own
Gritty
theme song?
street
didn't-
fight.
And I don't think she was like in that much. It was just like the beauty, the beauty salon she was at was just like really dodgy, and she just felt a bit threatened. So
Oh my God.
You evacuated. Nice.
That's. Wow.
That's
I was saying
make
that
chopper
as a
show?
joke.
Ironically,
I'm impressed.
I got mugged on the way.
I'll
She was perfectly fine.
I've
She
handed
wasn't.
my wallet over.
She was perfectly fine. She was there, like, and she had a full, facial. She had a lovely day, and I got there, and I'm like bleeding, and
I came to save you.
I'm here for you.
And she's like, do you want me to, like, compress that wound?
No, I like that. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
That is hilarious.
I thought I was going to die. The taxi driver was just so reckless driving. I've never been less in my life. Like,
You just like, here's an
Yeah.
extra 20 step on it. And
yeah.
just-
Well, no, I didn't say that. They just drive 160 k's. That's their 110.
That's the standard.
Is
And
it
they just-
Bangkok?
Yeah.
That's Thailand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they go all out with the driving.
Oh, it's just nuts. I thought that was it, and I was like, well, this is what happens when you try to live your life like it's a movie. This is what happens.
Well, and it becomes like a movie. It makes for a great story on a podcast.
Well, yeah.
And
People are enthralled. We're going to come up with a new James story every week.
It's James' story every week.
it sounds
Yeah.
like there's several faces of James. I mean,
Dating tips. You know, I was talking about girls' tips to get girls.
Oh, we need another. We need
The
this is our weekly
well,
segment.
you know how I said to wear the wedding ring? Is you don't have to wear it all the time. Keep the box and keep it in your pocket because, like you said, you never know when you need to propose to someone. You might meet some girl, you met her for 2 hours, realise she's the one,
And
you
it's like, I can't let her
Bam.
go.
you
Getting her number is not
lights,
enough.
go to the lights up at Kings Park and be like, boom, ring.
yeah.
Oh
Photos.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
that's my tip for the week.
That's
Stays
that.
tuned.
Always carry a wedding
For more.
ring. Okay.
That, can you put that in the notes?
Nice.
That we have a weekly segment and it's
Yeah.
James's. I need to come up with some cheesy man style name, but James's love tips.
James,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because this is gold.
For the segment, can you please put on a detachable bow tie?
Yeah.
Can we get
Hold that
music
glass of
for
wine.
you?
And,
A little theme song.
Something like Barry
Bow,
White.
chicka, wow, wow. Like,
Oh,
did you hear about the girl who got her boyfriend's name tattooed on her face a day after meeting in real life?
yes.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't like the tattoo personally.
And it really does take up her whole.
The whole bottom face.
Oh my God, it
not
does
like-
too.
It's not
it's a
subtle.
shame. She's really
very pretty.
Jeez.
But it's like, do you know what?
They're obviously looking for attention because
If-
how would they find? I guess on Facebook it's like, hey, check out my new tattoo. But
But apparently, I don't know if she would have done it because her boyfriend is a tattoo artist.
she looks like Fred's girlfriend without the tattoo. I actually saw
That's a
that.
bit, actually.
I saw it and I was like, what's Fred done now? What's friend Zoe?
The boyfriend is a tattoo artist, which makes me think that he wouldn't have used this ink because I'm guessing tattoo artists are pretty proud of real tattoos. But
It
apparently,
even goes over her lips.
yeah, well, apparently there's an ink
That's
now
her-
that you can use in
In-
tattoos
While it's before it healed.
that is a lot easier to get rid of. Because eventually, let's face it, people in our generation are going to get sick of the full sleeves. Like, most of them are. There are the few people who will stand by their tattoos, and that's great. But like every generation, there's going to be people who regret them, and they've got a new tattoo ink now that is much easier to laser off, and it's seen as like a cop out in the tattoo world. But I
Here's an idea. Just get a body painter to do something, draw something on you, and it lasts a day.
Do you know what?
Oh, yeah?
Gosnell's Markets henna stand that will last for up to 7 days, and it's all natural,
I bought
and it will be
I
brown,
bought
so it'll look a bit weird on your
Get
face.
used to it.
I got a custom made stamp and I would just stamp it on the same place every day.
Did you really do
In
that?
2006, yeah.
Did you? What was the stamp of?
It was like my little seal.
your seal.
You have a
Do you have a
seal.
wax version?
But I should say the dating tip for next week.
No. Come on, give us a double dating
Well, you
tip.
can keep the stamp in your pocket, right? And you take
Same
it out.
dating tip.
Take it out to the clubs, and then you just stamp the girls you like, and then you.
Brand
the
them.
next day, and they remember. Well, next week you go back to the same club, and they see you if they've been there, and they're like, "Hey, I woke up next day, and I had all these stamps covering me. Are you the guy that was doing stamps on me?" Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
Have you road tested this one?
I mean, I had a lot of girls come back saying, "Oh my god, I was covered in stamps that night."
Do you keep the stamp in the ring box?
Yeah.
Do you have
Well, I
like a
couldn't
little?
afford a ring back then.
But you can afford a box.
Yeah, did the stamp have like your number on it? So just it's
No, that was the mystery. So because I was so drunk, they woke up the next day and they had this faint memory of me, so they had to see me, next day.
Oh my! But they'd see that and be like, "Oh my god, what did I do?"
It's also at that time of mobile phone, so if they wanted your number, they would just ask for it.
yeah.
Oh wow! I want to follow you like David Attenborough.
I've talked about this, but I'm out of touch now. I've lost my mojo.
Yeah.
Can I say?
So I'm just spreading the knowledge from my period.
to new generations.
David Attenborough, by the way, is coming back to Perth.
Whoa.
Our work shared it on Facebook a little while ago.
Oh, he's coming into
So-
your work?
Well,
Nice.
our work works with him sometimes. Well, like they host him and be like, "Hey, here he is." But So to all those people who had a cry last time and paid too much for a ticket on Gumtree, I hate to break it to you because everyone last time was going, "But it's David Attenborough. When am I ever going to be able to see David Attenborough again?" Well,
Next month.
Yeah.
No, well, whatever.
yeah, it's pretty soon. I'm kind of tempted.
I opened the door for him. Oh, it was 30 centimetres away from me.
Jeez.
What
Did
was it
he
like?
acknowledge you? Did he
No.
look across and...
No.
But what was it like?
I was window furnishing.
Did he seem at all different, or was it just like any other
He's
guy?
a very doddery. He has a significant limp. He looks like he's in his 80s, which
But is it
is
a distinguished doddery, or is it just plain doddery?
no. I mean, he looks. I think he's got his mental faculties.
Oh, yeah.
But
do you have
he
to
looks,
know-
He looks old.
Do you have to know it's
Okay.
David Attenborough to be impressed, or does he have an aura?
I think the aura is in the people around him, just
In awe.
double taking, going. There were
Yeah.
visitors that day at the place that we work that didn't know it was him, and then took a second look and were just. They could have melted onto the floor when they saw him, and that's
Oh my God, that
in
would have
his
been
wake.
amazing.
There are people that just.
And does David Attenborough do like a reading? Because, that's the thing you'd love to hear from David Attenborough, though.
I imagine he would have saved that for the exhibition centre. Didn't want to give any freebies out, really.
Yeah, so gotta
unless it
keep
was for
quiet.
the press, like in an enclosed area, I would assume.
That's
Oh, he didn't. He didn't really
very
interact
mum.
with anyone, but that's because he was surrounded by various literati and cognoscenti and.
Well, he would have had to walk from one section to another, so I guess that's where.
yeah,
Wow, that would have been so cool, though. Even though it is just a guy walking and you're holding a door from him.
I was
it still would have been amazing. Little jealous.
It's all right. Nick, if he comes back, you'll just have to detour him down a door. You'll give him like the street,
David,
yeah.
street tour of the museum. Like,
Roll out the red carpet.
come down to
We
the
need to
coffee
get
room.
theme music for him. Oh, he's going to be like a professional wrestler. Everyone is going to want to work that day now that they know Jules got to open the door for him.
Yeah, that's
I had to put that
right.
on Facebook.
That's right.
Did you?
I did. I got at least 10 likes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ju-
Wow.
Are you
Don't you
joking?
hate people who don't use Facebook, but then they go on some fancy trip and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is me in,
that is me.
I am that person.
Brazil. Hey, I'm
Actually,
at the Mardi Gras."
And do you know what? I brag about everything. I buy a bus ticket and I'm like, look at this.
Yeah.
Put like the different filter on it to make it look more
funky.
interesting. Oh
I'll
yeah.
Instagram it now.
Taking the
It's
bus
retro.
in the 50s.
Yeah, go to the cultural centre.
Feminism corner. Are you guys on the Axe the Tampon tax bandwagon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
tampons and sanitary napkins.
Yeah, any feminine health products should not be taxed just on principle.
Is toothpaste taxed?
Well, if everyone uses it, then I don't care quite as much.
I'm not sure. But, I mean, I can't even remember. It seems so arbitrary what is taxed and what isn't. Bread and milk, they've not got a GST.
Yeah.
But suddenly, tampons, you don't need them. No.
That's like a
I'm gonna use
luxury.
fucking rag. you know?
I know it's really petty, but it is the principle just because do the guys, and let's face it, it's mainly guys who decide what is taxed and what isn't. Do they really want us not buying this stuff because it's a luxury and so it needs to be taxed? Like, no. You would not want a society where we don't buy this
No,
stuff.
they just want to get rid
So
of
that-
women for that period of time. Just go and be in a little hut somewhere and don't come back until
red
you've stopped
room.
doing horrible things that we don't want to know about.
But it's like, I really do. I'm not usually one of those petty people. Well, I'm petty, but not on things like this usually. I'm like, oh, whatever, women's rights, let's fight for something that's worth it. But in this case, I'm like, do you know what? That is just really lame to do, just because it's like, do you really think we want to buy these things? Do you think we jump up and down with joy and go, oh my God, finally I get to buy some maxi, mini, whatever the hell
I was really excited when I got my first one.
Oh God, I wasn't. I was like, oh God, I've seen all the Degrassi specials. I don't want any part of this.
If you're given food cards, can you buy tampons with that?
I don't know. You'd think I'd know. Being
Yeah, I was. No, I've never used food cards.
Do they have them in Australia?
Well, I go to the shops in Rockingham and
Do you?
In
I get
Who goes to the shops
Rockingham and Bunbury, and you just get accosted by people who are like, "Can you buy this food card off me? Can you buy this food?"
Are you kidding?
I assume that they've been abusing the doll and they're being given.
Oh, actually, I was going to say, I'm pretty
food
sure.
cards.
Never seen
I'm pretty
that.
sure I remember hearing that they gave Coles Myer cards out for what is it, for people to like use so that the like things like the baby bonus and parental payments couldn't be used for alcohol and cigarettes. They gave out
Coles Myer
cards.
covers Liquorland.
Well, it was only Coles ones. It was ones that could only go to Coles.
Yeah, you can only buy it for certain
so
because it's a magnet because they can program what it can.
Yeah,
be used
so
for.
like it's the one specific brand within. I don't think it even is Coles Myer anymore. But yeah, so I would say I think it is. I think it's actually Coles cards, or maybe they've changed it since then. But yeah, so they. Oh, that's so dodgy though that they're asking that, because that's pretty much them trying to buy cigarettes, alcohol, or something. Not.
I mean, I think I've seen them in other supermarkets. I've only ever been approached in those.
Yeah, you'd be able to get tampons. You can buy toilet paper with those things. Anything you can get at a supermarket, you can get with them. I just don't think you should tax something that chicks aren't excited to get. So
that's the rationale.
and it's a case of, well, what's the other option? We don't get it. Like, we don't buy feminine hygiene products.
Or you just pay what,
the
10
bears
cents
that would
extra.
just storm
Not the point,
every
the
part of
principle.
society.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
it is
totally
the
all about the principle.
Yeah.
I like principles.
Principle. For once, I am united with other
He's our
kitty girls.
champion
Yeah.
of feminist sport.
Yes.
Hanging around Australia's premier feminist podcast.
What else is in Feminist Corner now that we've
So
fought
the
that?
things I haven't read for a while. I had some follow-up about female gamers, and
Women don't
I
play.
see.
Sorry, I just mash buttons
Yeah.
and can't.
think-
see
I
anybody
play-
doing
I
it.
play-
there's a clip
Jewel
from
Crush? Yeah, does that count? Or Tiny Town? I used to play Farmville for my cousin. It literally was. I went back to my farm a while ago. It was just this barren wasteland. But there were actually still
I've lost everything.
but there were actually still some things alive. And I was like, I haven't been on here
Yeah.
in 3 years. How are
Farmville-
you still alive?
Because they want you to divert your attention.
My cousin actually sent me a message saying, yeah, I'm a bit over Farmville now, so you don't need to worry about it.
Have you
And I
ever
was like,
played
"Oh,
one
God."
of those games and actually paid money to get something, like get a
No,
little
but I've got
bonus?
friends who
Or...
I played one, and I played it, and I never put money in. And I played it for like 9 months or something like that. I'd never put a single dollar in. And then they did it, like, obviously because it was shutting down, they did a special, like, hey, here's $500. What would cost you $500 if you did it 3 months ago? Here's that for $2. So I put the $2 in, thinking, hey, I've got $2 worth of value out of this stupid game.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
the Snoopy game one.
Snoopy.
There you go.
I love Snoopy.
I found it very relaxing, just collecting money from my stores.
I played Tiny Tower for a while and I had to delete it because it gets too consuming. Like, all
I
consuming.
kind of wanted. I was really into
really
Viva
bad.
Pinata. That didn't have in-app purchases, but Viva Pinata, I was really into that, where you're like breeding animals and stuff.
Yeah, I would go to sleep being like, yeah, I'm in a good place. Then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh, people are trying to pay their bills. People need to build different stories. We need another pizza shop. And then I was like, no, this needs to end. Like, too much of my life is being dedicated to a tiny town that doesn't exist. No, Tiny Tower. That's what it's
Tower.
called. So it's not a town, it's a tower of apartment buildings. And this is the one where
Right,
my
right.
friends were buying
Wow.
stuff
Yeah.
with their credit
They were
card.
tycoons.
And that's another reason why I gave up, because I was like, what's the point? They've all
They're just cheap.
They just
They
buy
things.
everything.
yeah, I could play for hours on end and I'll never beat them. And
Oh.
so I had to just step away.
Just take a step? Was it hard giving it all up, giving up that power, that
Do you
responsibility?
know what? Once I like pressed down on the app and then pressed the little X button and deleted it, I was like, oh, I actually really could not give a shit. Like the build up was terrible, and as soon as I did it, I was like, what the hell did I care so much about this stupid game? Like it's not even a real game. Like gamers talk about games. This is not a game. This is an app game.
It was like my very first, like the little the pocket Tamagotchi when I was a kid.
They're making a comeback. I think
That's a whole different
really?
little fish. Tamagotchis.
Because
We're awesome.
I remember my first one, and then I was like taking care of it, fully like checking it every 2 seconds, and then one day it just died. Got sick and it died, and I was completely devastated. I'm like, oh man, it's like
You mourned it.
like days of my time just.
Did any of you ever, after you realised that it didn't matter what you did, it would keep dying? Because I don't know if maybe I am a
kill
serial
switch,
killer, but I started abusing a Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi sadist.
I would beat it. And I would deny it food.
my
I did everything to her.
my first true love. We bonded over this. We bonded over this game where it was like a screensaver for your computer. You had a dog and you adopt a dog. It was like a Tamagotchi. You had to look after it, but you could discipline it by spraying it with a water bottle.
Yes, that's
to stop it.
Oh yeah.
So
Did you discipline that dog too?
And it gets really depressed if you do it too much.
Yes, mine had I think it had like a happiness level. It was just at an all-time low, and I was just thriving on it. I've never been able to hurt a creature, like an actual living thing, but that Tamagotchi,
I don't think you're far off.
I know.
Oh god, that was the big follow-up.
I'm like a big, I'm like a closeted sadist.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Did anyone else, or is that just me?
Well, I mean, there was this one game. Oh, I can't remember. You had these like giant creatures who like. I can't remember, but you could do the same kind of thing. You could treat them good, and then they'll in turn either look after this village of little people because they were like giant Godzilla-like creatures, or if you treat them nasty, then you could like turn them evil, and they would go and like lightning blast the villages. And
so much more interesting.
and it was pretty.
So much more interesting to do the evil side.
It was pretty interesting.
I have some follow-up that relates to that from Feminism Call last week. I was talking about a test that they did a psychological test they did on people to try and understand the psychology behind the Holocaust, and it was called the Milgram experiment. And that was the thing where you had one person on one side and someone on the other side of a glass, and you were just brought into this room, you're told to electrocute this person, for whatever. And it was like just to see who people keep doing it, except the guy on that person on the other side who was getting electrocuted was actually an actor. So they weren't actually getting really electrocuted, they were just like pretending, right? So a lot of people like crowd foul, like saying, oh, people can sense when you're not really affecting them. So these other guys came along, and Charles Sheridan and Richard King and said they want to do the test for real, and instead of having a human getting electrocuted, they actually got puppies on the other side, and puppies got really electrocuted.
Puppies can't act.
And the interesting thing they found, which is what I was talking about last week, is they most of all, it was pretty similar results to the Milgram experiment, except half of the male subjects and all of the females obeyed right to the end, like they just wouldn't stop shocking it. So women, 100% of women would not stop it shocking the
What was the
puppies.
sample size?
I don't know.
3.
I'll link to it. You can go read about it.
Okay, that original one, that was from Nazi.
The original one
Is
where
that what
they
you
had the
said?
actor, it was completely even between men and women who stopped
You
first.
said that was during Holocaust time. Was that
No,
like...
no. It was just
Okay.
there was psychologists testing people to see what caused the thing. Because like the idea was like, who are these people putting people in gas chambers? You would have to get a lot of evil people together to orchestrate this, or you have to get people who are just willing to just do anything if they're told to do it.
I guess, yeah. Oh, that's awful.
And they're wondering why there was such a low percentage of people who rebelled against the Holocaust.
I thought the thing with the Milgram experiment as well was someone else abdicates someone from responsibility. Like they say, it's okay, it's all right.
You're
I'm
just
taking
doing
full responsibility for
You're
this.
just
That's what they would say.
pressing
They
the
come in
button.
and go, it's
You're just
okay, just keep
facilitating.
doing it.
You're just facilitating I'm
Yeah.
the one who's making the decision.
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's going to happen anyway. You may as well just not be.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that's
just-
awful.
But 100%
though.
of women electrocute the puppies until near death.
Oh
but
my
only
God.
50% of the men.
And they could see the
Yeah,
puppies.
so that's. I wonder if that's
Do you know
your torturing your Tamagotchi might be this feminine aspect of you.
My dog
I think that-
collapsed in the heat this week and I cried. So don't you feel bad now.
Yeah.
I am very in tune with
Yeah,
the
okay.
suffering of puppies.
But because it was an electronic cat, you didn't feel like you had the same result.
was
so you
just-
like,
It was funny.
yeah, okay.
It's like playing a video game and going and shooting helpless people, and it's not real
Yeah.
what you do.
Well, I mean,
It's like when you get that. It's like that thing that happened in Grand Theft Auto where there was a glitch where you couldn't you get prostitutes or something like that?
Yeah,
And
It was a
babies.
glitch.
Okay.
So, although having said
Well,
that,
it
I'm
wasn't a
killing
glitch. You could get a
an
prostitute, and you can
animal.
also kill anyone. It was just the people who happened to kill the prostitutes after getting services from them.
Yeah, but like, wasn't it? Not
There
you
was-
weren't supposed to be able to see servicings from the prostitute.
No, you could do it. It was just the fact that the game allowed you to do it that people got offended.
I thought it was something that.
Because the idea would normally you would just it wasn't like part of the game you had to kill the prostitute. It was your choice to kill the prostitute.
Did a
You
lot
could just
of
let the
people
prostitute
choose
keep on
to-
working all night long.
Yeah, but there was an extra layer. Like a programmer had created like a whole.
No, that was a different. That was called Hot Coffee, where you could
Yeah.
go to a house and you could see these people having sex, which was like an Easter egg in the game,
Oh, okay.
like real sex.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
seeing actual. Wow.
That was a separate issue to the prostitutes.
Okay, well, Feminist Corner is kind of failing for women this week because we're puppy killers. And I'm
That's right.
a
All women on the
Tamagotchi.
basis of this one experiment are just evil. Just
And,
evil.
I
right.
And only
represent all
50% of men
women
are. So
in the
There's still plenty
One
of
of you
evil
two
men out there.
slaughter
Yeah.
Tamagotchis. Just saying, the next time the Tamagotchi was alive, I did have remorse and I treated it really nicely.
would you have tortured it if it wouldn't have come back to life? If that was it, like if it just no, exactly.
I knew that it was
Reincarnation, you know.
disposable. I was just like, this is just a game, and I've been playing by the rules, and I've been screwed
tired of the
over.
rules.
I'm tired of the rules
totally a
because
gamer.
I did nothing wrong. I woke up half an hour early each morning because I knew that otherwise it would be too hungry and it would be on death's door. So that's how committed I was to my Tamagotchi.
After torturing it for a great deal of time,
well, the
did you then like give it a bit of love, like you know? That's okay. I still
The
love you.
tortured
And then
creature did not last long, okay? It didn't last long at all. And then
but would you keep bringing it back?
Whoa. This is just another.
the next incarnate of whatever I can't even remember what were Tamagotchis. Were they
Oh,
actual,
who knows?
Tamago is egg. It's an egg.
whatever
thing.
the egg thing was.
Egg.
I treated it nicely. I actually remember its little whimpering,
treated it real
pixelated body now.
Do you feel bad?
I was so nice to it the next
I have a
time.
framed photo of my Tamagotchi.
But it was also kind of funny. My friends did it as well,
Well,
okay? Blame the
you know,
ghetto. Blame the
well-
system. Maybe the government should help all these low socioeconomic areas so there aren't Tamagotchi abusers out there.
When the Tamagotchi War Crimes Tribunal, comes around to Perth,
I
there'll be-
am fucked.
I want to see, is there a link between people who terrorize the Tamagotchi and, you know, later becoming serial killers?
I know,
or-
it's the first... I shouldn't have revealed this. You're all going to think I'm crazy.
No, it's all right.
But it was funny. It was just funny because we'd all share our stories about torturing Tamagotchi. But can I just say, never actually tortured real things.
Yeah.
At what point does the Tamagotchi cease to be real? I mean, you know.
Tamagotchi is not real, okay? It's
What about when technology, you know, moves forward and, you know, there is a fully, like, developed AI in that little
fantastic.
egg?
There's going to be a realistic creature that I can torture and
might as well just
beat
give
and
birth.
batter.
Just have a child.
One of the scariest things I've seen was my brother, who we found like a rat's nest in the backyard, all these baby rats in it, and my dad was like, "Oh, we got to put them down because the mother's been eaten by our cat or something," and my brother said, "Oh, I'll handle this," and he was only like under 10 years old, and he got a hammer and just spent a couple of hours taking great pleasure in dismembering these.
Is he in jail now?
No, but I'm like, I wonder if he would be one of those war crime people. Who just like,
So, can I just ask? Does my Tamagotchi torturing maybe now in the cold light of rat hammering day?
I think it's
I just
still
wanted
pretty
you to. I just wanted you to bask in your revelation before I brought that up.
I'm not any better than him. He's my peer. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm trying to make you feel better. Like there's people that are worse than you.
Rat hammerer and Tamagotchi. Did he put them out of their misery quickly though? That's my main.
No.
He tortured them.
Yeah, from my memory, I was very disturbed by it.
Oh my God. Because I think if you have to kill something, kill it quickly. Because I get that it has to happen sometimes. But that's why I couldn't try to kill a real creature because I don't know. I think I'd like chicken out halfway and then do a kind of half-assed job of it. And the poor
I
thing
get
would be
really
suffering.
freaked out about just killing insects these days. Like,
It depends if they're the really big, crunchy, gooey ones.
it has to be like it has
With
to
the
be,
exoskeleton.
It has to be
It
like
feels like a real.
on me and not flick off the first time before I kill it. Like,
Yeah.
It has to be asking for it.
yeah.
I'm afraid of giant moths, but I can't kill them because they scare me. I killed one once,
Yeah.
and it's like
Curse.
I smashed it into the floor with a
what I was gonna
rolled
say.
up newspaper, and it had I think 3 layers of wings that squished out along the
Wow.
floor, and they were massive
That's
ones.
impressive.
It was like a
Yeah.
butterfly-sized moth, and ever since then I've been like, no, that's too real. Like I can't.
Oh yeah, I used to.
Kill
That was
something.
really. That
That's
was like
really
one of the.
upsetting.
I remember like cutting the wings of butterflies to see if they flew. You know. But you know,
Did
well,
they?
not butterflies.
I hate butterflies, by the way. I
cabbage
hate
moths.
butterflies.
The cabbage moths. You know those white things that fly.
I hate all of those.
That's the extent of
things.
my torture. My friend I used to watch my friend Alex. He used to get slaters and get a magnifying glass and then heat their head up until it exploded.
I was going to say,
and
I'm
then
not
feed
one
it
of
to his
those.
goldfish.
I'm not one of those. What is it? Magnifying glass on an
Yeah.
anthill, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Just simple Tamagotchis. Leave them with me for the night. They'll be fine. Go out to the movies. You guys
Yeah.
deserve a rest.
Do you think there's a market for like Tamagotchi babysitters? You know, that kind
See,
of.
I could have
Oh.
advertised, but now I've completely just besmirched my
want a
own
night off from your
name.
Tamagotchi and
Yeah. Take a
did.
rest.
They
you
were
deserve.
exhausting. Like,
Well, I think, I'm sure if they're coming back, I'm sure it's a primary school booming industry. Those year 7s, they could be selling their services as
oh my God.
Tamagotchi babysitters.
Teachers hated them, I remember. Just being like, everyone put your Tamagotchi at the front. Because we'd all be in class going, someone needs feeding. It's like, no, it doesn't. Lunch is in an hour.
Questions of the week. I only had one simple one. Should there be fart rooms on an aeroplane?
Yes.
But where would it go?
But how would you walk?
Well, like next to the toilet, just be more of an express line, so you can, you don't have to get in the line. You just go in there, do your business. There's some giant fan suck the
I was
thing
going to
out.
say, does something take the
Yeah.
stench away?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
otherwise, are you just walking into a room full of farts?
No, yeah, they'll have
Like
some
other
big, they have some big
people's-
fans and some nice perfume in there. And you go in there and you fart, and then you go back.
But the shame of walking to that room.
But everyone
would know.
in those seats is sitting there farting or trying to hold in their farts.
Well, it's just a fact. By going up in the altitude, the air in your stomach readjusts, and it's more like you're way more likely to fart in a plane than anywhere else. And it's actually the reason I don't know if it's true, but the reason I was thinking about this was because apparently it's actually regulation that if a pilot needs to fart, he has to fart immediately because. Holding in a fart actually
mandated.
distracts you from your ability to fly
my
and make
God.
important decisions.
Regulation.
What
Yeah.
if he had a really bad
Yeah,
stomach
yeah.
problem and they were really
Yeah.
Hope you've got really
caustic ones?
understanding co-pilots. I
Oh.
guess. At least it's a locked cabin so that...
But the flight attendants always come in. Like, there aren't, from what movies have told me, there are always flight attendants coming in. So that would be
Maybe they have to clean up. They're going in all the time because they're cleaning up the farts, like spraying.
doing the air release on the room.
Yeah, like, oh, it's...
Someone doesn't like their burrito.
Does anyone else have questions of the week?
Yeah, I've got a question. Question of the week. Should there exist atheist/agnostic shrines /chaplains?
Oh. Do you mean just so we can even things up for all the things
Yeah,
that religious people get?
kind of. Yeah, but,
I think
maybe-
chaplains in public schools have to. They have to counsel atheists as if they're atheists and not allowed to convert them or anything.
Okay.
Like,
Well, then why can't you have sort of an atheist or agnostic person in that role, like some kind of, I don't know.
An atheist or an agnostic person want to be a chaplain.
Well, I mean, a chaplain maybe isn't the right word, but someone who
advisor.
fulfills that. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. But
wouldn't it just be like a guidance counsellor?
I guess. Well,
School
No,
psychologist?
they're not quite.
Nurse?
Yeah, chaplains are
but they'll
not
do it for
quite at that level.
So I remember they saying you can just go talk to a school nurse if you're feeling down. Or
feeling
something.
down. Yeah, what I mean, I guess in general public, if you're feeling down, you've got
There's-
psychologists. And
Yeah, the
stuff,
school
but-
psychologists. You have to do like a special course to be one.
They kind of do have. I mean, like I think
My
of
friend's
the,
doing
I think
it like
yeah,
it's
right.
a
the
crack.
International Space Station is
It's
kind of
like
like
a
a
dickhead.
shrine to
Yeah, but I mean something
science.
something everyone can visit though. I mean that's the thing, somewhere aesthetically pleasing, where you can all come together. Like, don't you reckon?
Like a theatre.
Maybe like like a second
Yeah,
cultural
Sci-Tech.
centre that would be like
Or you talk.
our beliefs.
You would just talk about things like they do at lecture theatres at university. wouldn't
Yeah. But I mean, university isn't necessarily like accessible, and it has to be somewhere where it's sort of, would be open a lot and free.
they? Yeah.
All
So
throughout
there'd
the
be
year.
like TED Talks, but free to go to every Sunday.
Yeah.
Sci-Tech hosts
You could
TED
get involved.
Talks.
Yeah.
Are they
So-
free or you have to pay $10,000?
No. It's like TEDx. TEDx.
TEDx.
So they used to have them
Oh
at
no, I
Sci-Tech.
remember this.
So
Nick Taylor used to run those.
yeah, so maybe Sci-Tech would be a good idea, but it's a government thing, so I'm guessing that means
And the
they can't really be involved in any religion or anti-religion.
Colin Barnett also wants to move it to Burswood too.
Does
so-
he?
Yeah, for $15 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where would it go? On the middle of the golf course?
No, they're getting rid of the golf course.
I've got to say that golf
Make
course
It'd be
Well,
might
part,
my
it'd be
brother
part of
very
the
angry.
stadium complex that connects the stadium with the Burswood Entertainment Precinct.
What?
It'll be all part of the Burswood Entertainment Precinct with the new stadium and the theatre and the, I guess the dome
Kind
gets
of
knocked
work.
down.
That could kind of... so the dome is going to go?
Probably, yeah. Because the Perth Arena is meant to replace.
Yeah, we could lose it, like, realistically.
It's not
No,
that
that could be kind of cool, though, because if we could get a cool Sci-Tech, like, I think it's Science World in Canberra. It's just so good. And people love
Oh,
Sci-Tech
yeah, I've been to one in
anyway.
Canberra, yeah.
There's that thing that you go on and it's like a big, like, it looks like those things that skaters, like the
Oh, yeah,
U-shaped
like a half
things.
pipe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
half pipe. I am not down with the lingo. And you have to put this special slidey suit on, and then at the top they make you hang down on there's this pole that you hang down on, and then you have to wait for a specific time. Then they tell you to let go, and as you drop down towards the half pipe, for a split second you feel something like zero gravity, and I went on it and had no upper body strength. So they said, now lower yourself down and wait for the thing. And I just went bam and smacked down onto the half pipe and did not feel zero gravity.
There's a guy that wants
And it was
to.
really fun.
There's a guy who
That's the kind
wants
of stuff
to
we need.
do that on a giant scale. He's trying to get like Red Bull to sponsor it, where he's going to jump out of a plane without
Red
a
Bull
parachute
sponsor it.
and land on like one of those things so that he hits it and it just slows him down enough to not die.
Red Bull would totally sponsor that.
There's already one guy who he landed without a parachute with just the wingsuit, and he just landed in a
the
big
wingsuit.
pile of
Yeah.
cardboard. They just made this huge paddock full of cardboard boxes that he just smacked into.
I'm not a big Red Bull fan, but I have to say they do sponsor very cool stuff, like
Yeah, they do.
air shows and things like that. Like, they're pretty consistent with making that cool kind of stuff happen.
Well, that probably wraps it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have
think-
to get going. I have a rent inspection.
No.
I'm James. You can find me at jimmich.com. Rhett.
I'm Rhett.
Just
You can
around.
find me around Perth in general.
Julie. You can find Julie on Twitter. I'll link to her on the show notes if
You
she.
don't need to do that.
But he will. Hold your
Natalie's on
nose
Twitter as well. Encourage her to use it, and we'll try and convince her to vine her pipes. And, I know the audience is gagging for
You're
it.
just waiting.
And yes, you can find us at fangaround.com. Remember, you can email us any questions, any disputes with what we've got to say. We'd love to hear your feedback.
Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye.
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 Bye.